Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Downtime in the Hangar, where we talk about all things GBO2 and tangent to other stuff. This week, I'm joined by Gustav the 13th
Yep.
and Gaming Emblem.
Hey yo.
So, guys, how's your week been, Gustav? What have you been up to?
Whole lot of the same old shit. Okay, so we got through Katamari Damacy, and then we're moving on to Disgaea as our secondary game. Meanwhile, still been doing GBO2 dailies.
Did you get this guy on sale? I actually picked it up not too long ago myself.
I actually bought it a while ago and just never had the time to run through it because I was doing other stuff. And then once I started streaming, I was like, well, I want to do a playthrough of it eventually, but I was like trying to keep it with some of the newer stuff that was coming out at the time.
Yeah, I
Right,
was seeing
I
you
feel you.
play it, and I was like, man, it's been a while since I've seen that. Like, I think I got that on a Humble Bundle, like, forever ago.
Yeah, so the PC port is not too bad. A couple of different filters and like different versions. You can tell that like one's the original, one's the PSP, and then there's like a slightly newer one that they're using for this, I guess, but it's pretty good.
But yeah. What have you been up to, Emblem?
A lot of Fantasy Star online too. I actually just hit level 70 last night. So 5 more levels until I hit the cap, and I guess can start grinding even more. Like that's only that's my only concern about Fantasy Star right now is that I don't know if they get more stuff later, but unlike other RPGs where the end game is like doing raids and stuff, like I don't really know. I haven't really looked into it, but it's like all I can really see the end game being is just more grinding.
From what I can tell, it's like more grinding, and there's a few different things. Now we will be getting content here in a little bit, and then I get
Right, that's
my
what I heard.
rodeo rocket of awesomeness, so I can actually travel instead of having to do animation canceling to keep up with everybody. But yeah, like not having a travel skill is kind of annoying.
Yeah. Isn't a lot of those areas like instants though? Like it seems like you're just doing like a big series of events all the time as opposed to having like an actual like end game.
Yeah, it's like
doing stuff after it.
It's like 3 areas, and then a boss is the 3rd area kind of thing, and then sometimes there's a bonus. But I mean, you put the difficulty up, and I guess the challenge kind of comes in the sense of like, well, you know how GBO2 has like the get it done in the fastest time. That's kind of like the end game, is getting things done faster and, you know, grinding more efficiently kind of thing. I guess there's technically things that are supposed to be challenging. I mean, I haven't seen them yet, but like you actually need to know the boss mechanics and stuff, like later on with like the super hard stuff.
Right.
But yeah, so
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see how it gets. Yeah.
I just hope it's more than just, you know, grinding. Like if there's actually like a, I don't know, I guess maybe like a dungeon style thing, you know, like Final Fantasy 14, you start doing the raids really early. But I wouldn't mind like a actual like dungeon and an end boss kind of like thing. It's just kind of weird because like the roles in the game feel strange. Like I'm playing a spellcaster and I have healing magic, but there's no like, it doesn't like there's like a dedicated healer or support style character, for instance. I guess you could build that. Like I've seen builds on Techers, for instance, where you can do like you pretty much just like subclass the gunner or ranger or whatever for weak shot or weak bullet.
Yeah.
And you pretty much just keep heals and buffs up and just spam weak bullet on the enemies to give the damage buff or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of the thing, is you want to find your team comp and do that. Like for instance, I mean, again, it would be nice if you could respec easier that way, but unless you're like, I mean, I guess once you get to a certain point, you all could just like, okay, we're gonna make this set of comp. Everybody make a new character now, and let's, you know, now that we all know what we're doing and can level fast, let's level up the next 3 days and then do this comp, because yeah, like
right.
But like, I mean, that's the only way you can really get really interesting with the customization. Now, apparently, there's like a WoW token thing on the market. I mean, nobody's told me no every time I say this, so I'm gonna keep repeating it till somebody, because I haven't seen it yet because I don't have that much money. But you can essentially buy the real money currency for the free
Really?
currency at some point. Yeah, that's what somebody was telling me in chat. So I'm like,
There's
oh.
like an exchange. Is it like a crazy rate for it?
I mean, I don't know. That's what I haven't found one, or I don't even know what the item's called or anything like that. They were just like, yeah, you can essentially have like you eventually play enough that you could pay for your premium for free. And I was like, oh, so it's kind of like a WoW token kind of thing, and you can get the real money currency or something. They were saying the real money currency you can get, so you can get your premium and stuff that way.
So AC, right? Not SG?
AC, yeah. You can get AC with the SETA or whatever is how they were saying it through the player trade shop. And I was like, oh, okay. And it's like some kind of item or something. So I was like, oh, well, that sounds pretty legit. And
yeah, I guess if it works like the gold pass, I don't think you can trade that per se, but you can. The gold pass is an item you activate, so maybe premium in some cases is the same way. I don't know.
maybe, I don't know. Anyway, that's what it sounds like. So because I think we were talking in terms of getting a second skill tree. It's like, is it possible to get a second skill tree free? I think is one of the things that I asked too with that. And then I was also talking about the premium as well. So hopefully that's the case, because otherwise it's kind of remake a new character, which I'm not exactly, I mean, again, now that I know how to level faster, it doesn't seem that bad really. So, and at the same time, it's like you just make a new character. I mean, Diablo 2, for instance, every time you messed up, like, okay, I've got this skill point, boom, 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 boom. Oh no, I just hit the wrong skill. And then it's like, well, delete, remake character. So I mean, it's nothing that I really haven't personally dealt with before. So I'm just kind of like, okay, cool. This kind of remake characters thing isn't the biggest deal. So, and since you get 3 for free, like you can kind of mess up a little bit on one and wait for a skill pass reset and then do and then fix it later. So I might actually make another character once I get this leveled up.
I mean, I would say too, if anything, like unless you're just dead set on playing that class, since you have access to everything, like if you messed up the build on a particular class, you could just play another one and worry about trying to fix it up later.
Yeah, and well, I mean, as far as like the make a new character thing is, I'm kind of wanting to min max a little bit now, so I'm probably gonna do like a Newman Force character, and then like a probably the what is it, Dooman? I forget what they're better. Insert correct min max damage here kind of thing. So, but yeah, and then the cast are pretty much just tanky. The big thing for them, which I mean,
yeah,
I have to have my
like their
robot
go-to. It's just kind of weird though. Like, I don't know how marginal the skill differences are between classes, but like, there are skills that like I guess help you generate more threat, but like tanking doesn't feel real in that game. So like,
so
it's just kind of like weird.
Yeah, it's really. Do you want to take a one-shot kind of thing that would kill one person, or do you want to get good and dodge roll? Like that's pretty much the difference.
It sounds pretty Japan to me. Blocking and taking shots, no. Just dodge roll and be fast all day.
Yeah.
High all the way.
Yep, high intensifies.
So I know like another thing too, you want to level all the classes to 75 because you get stats too. So like if you're playing I'll say Force, you want to level Techer and Summoner, I think, to 75. That way you get permanent like tech power. And then I forget which, well, I mean the obvious 3 range ones. So yeah. And then melee, then you get attack power or whatever it is. So there's a reason to level up everything at least on one account per ship, kind of thing, or on one character per ship. But at the same time, if you're, I think also the marginal difference that you were talking about, like Newman, I think has like 70 stats, like 70 more tech power over, like, say, a cast. And then also females have higher tech power, even more so. So if you're like a male cast compared to like a female Newman, I think it's even more. I think it's like 90 tech power at that point. So that's a decent number, I guess, considering like what weapons will have. Game weapons are like what, 1100? So it's about an extra 10% flat damage. Or flat power, I guess. Something like that. But so yeah, what else have you been up to? We got there's the Phantasy Star Online
Tangent number 1. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, just battle op. I've been neglecting my MSGO because I'm playing more Phantasy Star.
That's
but
what I
we'll
was
kind of
gonna
see how
ask
that
next.
goes. Yeah, at the moment, I don't see myself like I'm having fun right now, but I could definitely see myself kind of getting to the point where I hit the end part of PSO2 and then just kind of falling off a little bit more.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Like that's kind of where
So
I'm.
we'll kind of see.
Like I'll probably level some stuff up and I'll probably play it maybe off
Mhm.
stream a little bit. Like, oh, I've got some stuff to do, or I'm waiting for a phone call. Yeet, and then yeah. So for what I've been doing, well, Phantasy Star Online 2, more GBO2 stuff, and MSGO dailies. I've been trying to get those done as well. For MSGO though, I feel like that one's kind of more of a let's have some fun, hop on, play a little bit,
Get
kind of
murdered.
yeet. Yeah, pretty much yeet into games. If I suddenly get a string of kills, be like, "Woo, I killed people, yay!" And then
Magnum
then get murdered.
is the 20 to 30-minute queue yeeting into a game?
Okay, well, sorry. Well, if I queue solo, I'm in a game in like 2 minutes.
We
But
have
if
to
I
remember that Magnum has the patience of a saint when it comes to shitty things.
apparently,
Magnum's like, I need you to elaborate. I like no shitty things. Like, so Dom Barrage is a amazing mobile
oof.
suit.
Oh
Like,
no, I wasn't
what are
even
you, what
gonna
are you,
go there.
what are you even saying?
Oh
I got you,
man.
Magnum.
Oh
I got you,
man.
man. I think.
Oh, oof.
Durham.
Oof. Big oof. But yeah. And then Emblem just drop mic and leave there.
I was adjusting my fan. There we go. I wanted to see an intensify somewhere. Casa put intensify exclamation point.
Yeah,
Like,
there we go.
Barrage, you've been put in the spotlight. You've been called out again, Barrage.
Oh
Intensify.
man. But yeah, the I mean, as far as just I mean, I can't sit around and just do nothing, and so fair enough. But still, the queue for like when I'm solo queuing, like even on stream, so I've got proof it does happen all the time. Like when I'm solo queuing, I'm in a game like that. The queues are like nothing, and then as soon as like it's like, yeah, Chad, get in here, let's queue. Well, I'm to load up Final Fantasy 14 and
14.
do a dungeon real quick. Okay,
So
cool.
it's like GBO2 but worse.
Yeah, well, and then
It
also
can be.
sometimes like that's the weird part. Like we had one yesterday where it was just like I fired up Final Fantasy 14 and did like 10 quests, and then it was like, oh yeah, that's right, we're queued right now.
Shit, I'm actually trying to play another video game.
Yeah, and that was kind of the other thing too. But I mean, at the same time, when it comes to queue times, the example I used was from when I was on Paragon and was on a team there, and where we were like the top 50 players in that entire game. Like, yeah, like at that point, 6-hour queues So
Yikes.
Hashtag
I was
humble
like,
brag. That's long. What do you guys do in
"Say
between?
humble brag." Oh my gosh, I just caught that.
Like...
I mean, I would play Path of Exile, or sometimes we talk strats, and I would play Path of Exile at the same time. But
Hey, we got a match. Oh shit! My character's already I've already beaten Innocent, or I've already beaten Katava. I'm doing maps now. Like,
yeah,
it's
pretty
about time.
much. Yeah, pretty much. Like for real. I'd already be into maps, and just we'd finally get a match. But like
Ding.
I've got some screenshots on here of like 4 hours, 5 hours, and 6 hours queue times. So
I
it's
feel
kind
you
of
on
gross.
that though.
Now
Like,
with that,
we kind of had the same problem when we played Smite when
yeah.
it first came out. Like,
Oh yeah, if you get
like
into
in the
any of
early
those,
beta, it was rough. We pretty much were up against like the same group of people every match when they did pop.
especially if you start climbing any of the ladders early on,
Mhm.
like same thing like early on if you were doing team queues in League, like we ended up a couple of times in League against some of the pro teams because we'd just be queuing and it would just be like, okay guys, well,
There's no
time for
one
us to
else
get
here.
slaughtered.
Yeah.
We're like 1600 elo or something climbing up, and it's like, oh, here's this pro team that we're going against. Time to get wrecked. No big deal. So, yeah. The
The rough
team,
thing for online just feels like it's almost a decade old at this point, and you're still having that kind of issue.
yeah. I mean, any of those
But it
games
feels like
too.
it'd be like the opposite of it, right? Like instead of it being relatively new at the time compared to those other examples, it's just been going on for too long.
That's kind of true. But I mean, at the same time, I guess it's one of those things. It kind of goes back to that argument of, do you want to get crushed? Now, for me, I liked playing against the people who were about to crush our faces in. But I mean, I tend to like trial by fire, and getting kicked in the teeth is how I typically
Yeah.
learn to get better, because I normally
Magnum
pick up
keeps
something.
track of all of his dick crushing appointments. Don't worry.
I will say though, I mean, I feel you there. I learned a lot from the first clan match after everything got back up and started. Like, I actually do think I'm a better player in Battle Op after those matches, because I got to observe like higher level than me players, and like what they do. And like, I think I felt it too. Like, I've actually been able to push into A plus, because I kind of have a better understanding of how I want to act in the game. I think it's helped out a lot. Like, I'm no new type or anything, but like I've definitely noticed my plays be a little bit more on point after seeing other people do stuff. It's kind of like mimicking it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, that's definitely, because I've heard people say, well, when I go up against people like that, there's nothing to learn because it's just an overwhelming force just stomping me in the face. And I'm like, it is a learned skill. Like I mean, it definitely is a learned skill. You have to get crushed a lot to learn how to learn from getting crushed. So
That too. No, honestly, I like being able to have the VOD available, because I mean, when you're in there in the moment, it does
yes.
kind of suck. But like, I won't even lie. I watched all of the clan matches that first night, like on all of our streams. And picked up a lot of stuff. Like, it was good to just sit back and rewatch and be like, oh, okay, being able to like see what you're doing is like, oh, I mess up there or stuff like that. It really helps out a lot.
I think for me, where I learned the skill was from like early, like StarCraft and stuff like that, because at that point it is just 1v1, and there wasn't really an easy way to do VODs. So at that point, you pretty much had to get like good in the moment, and that's pretty much where I credit that skill coming from. But
You didn't just watch Day 9 talk about replays like everyone else.
yeah, well, then finally replays started happening and stuff, and then there was YouTube and things like that. So yeah, so fair enough. But like real early on, like going back even further to like Age of Empires and stuff.
Was it
Like,
Day 9 Husky and like Total Biscuit at the time when they were doing like shoutcasting and all that shit? I used to watch a lot of StarCraft.
oh yeah, like that's pretty much that's like any kind of those single player games. You just kind of had to learn while on the fly half the time because there wasn't the VODs. Like that was something that changed for me in probably around League of Legends time because then we'd go back and rewatch stuff. And I was like, oh, this is actually a very good tool. I wish I recorded more games. And then I finally got that PC over there, which is like 12 years old now, or 10 or something like
I
that.
need to change categories.
So
But yeah, I definitely think you learn a lot from a game by watching other people play it, especially if they're better at it than you are.
oh yeah, for sure. But also that strat that you were talking about that they were using, definitely gonna try that in the future if we end up on I think we're on Arctic base next time for the 4v4, but if we end up back on Impact site, that's definitely going to be.
Isn't it 5v5 this time?
Oh, sorry. Well, the next 4v4 is what I'm saying, because we got another 4v4 simple. In
I was gonna be
2
like,
weeks.
oh shit, it's 4v4. Let's go.
Yeah, it's 6v6 on Saturday, and then a week later on the Monday, it's 4v4, and that one's at night. So.
Hey, so the ideal.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
They're still doing the every 4th is at night, which is kind of awesome. So since we skipped that last one, good. But yeah, as far as finishing up though, what I've been up to, almost done with the Path of Exile challenges.
Hey.
So gonna try to finish that either tomorrow or sometime this weekend, and the new league for that's in 15 days now. So that'll be fun. And what else? I've just been playing too many games again. And before Emblem says, so speedrun win? But yeah, pretty much.
I mean, Gustav's the one that put us on fire the first time about like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got 5 more days of Final Fantasy 14 subscription because I had the 30 days for that code. And then when that runs out, then that game's going to be on a hiatus till whenever.
Right.
Do you see yourself like putting more money into that though?
Oh yeah, for sure.
14's a lot of fun.
I
mean, if I was in a
really
position where I would be able to subscribe to it, I wouldn't mind playing it more. So I feel you there, Magnum.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up right now. I'm planning to pick up PS Plus for Extreme Versus. So, and then after that, yeah, and I'm also gonna be picking it up too because me and Lotus are gonna play some Black Clover at some point. So I'm probably gonna pick up that game this weekend, and then I don't know when I'll get PS Plus, but since we're getting close to that, I figured I could do PS Plus for a couple of months, do that, and then might hop back over on Final Fantasy here in like maybe 2 to 3 months, something like that.
Yeah, we got plenty of time on Final Fantasy until we hear like anything about the second part, anyway. So
yeah, so
good.
And then yeah, so I think that's about it. There's a lot of games to play. So yes, coming soon, speedrun. We'll see when that happens. I pretty much need
live
to make
at
notes.
Watermelon Emblem or Watermelon Magnum. Let's say Watermelon Emblem. Extra point at that you are watermelon flavored today.
Watermelon.
Got your watermelon shirt on?
Watermelon shirt, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's what I should call this shirt. It actually, yeah, dude, this does look like a watermelon.
It's not tie dye. It's watermelon. It's a watermelon rind. Shirt.
Nailed it. But
it's a watermelon shaped like an EG Magnum Malone.
You know what? You know what? You know what I just realized?
We got a Magnum Malone on the line.
Oh no. I just realized 2 things, guys. I realized I didn't put that is not a support on the screen. And
Well, we don't need that. Like, you need to
Oh,
cross out
the
support and
entire
put raid
segment
there.
about that dude's
Whoops.
gonna be pretty much about that. Like,
I
don't worry about it.
I did a few things wrong. I didn't swap the overlay.
Uh-oh.
I am slacking, dude.
Slipping.
Yeah, so did not swap the thing from shoutouts to intros, but
The viewers at home, use your mind's eye.
yeah. So alphabeting is hard right now. But anyway, we can go ahead and hop into the Gapsly now and talk about how it's not a support. So yeah, guys, it's not a support.
It sure the hell isn't. And it's stupid that it's not. Boy, howdy. It is not a support. It's literally a transforming Mark III.
Like,
I think it should have
okay,
been a raid.
so is it like a transforming Mark III that also does it have a? So I've seen a lot of screenshots. So I have screenshots of the stats and stuff, but I needed to ask the person to send me one of the weapons. Like, does it have a sub weapon? Or sorry, it does have the.
I mean, I was gonna
Bayadine,
say the can. I would assume.
and then I'm guessing it has the sub weapon, and then it has a normal beam saber. Like, you don't see the beam saber
Yeah,
in the
it
video.
has two beam weapons.
Okay, so it's pretty much the Marisai.
And then the bigger
by
thing is
default.
that the fitting that it has, it doesn't have to carry, it doesn't have to stop the fire. Like, it just fires on the move.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh no.
Which even if
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't a different version of that
Oh,
gun, it's
yeah.
just a damn huge suit. So like, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, for real. So it's got, and then in the flight mode, it does have an alternate firing mode. So it has 55 heat rate in flying mode. So it's just like the Ashimar in that sense, which is kind of cool.
Also, apparently, the Ashimar is really good at assassinating people with its barrel roll. I just did that for an ace match earlier, and it was hilarious.
See a lot of people doing that. The Ashimar, once you get some maneuvers down, that suit is gross. But let's see. So I can pull up the stats here. After I
It's
change
another filthy general.
Yeah, so not a support. And I mean, if you see the way it plays,
Not a raid.
Yep.
pretty much.
Could have been active. Could have been great, but
I think the Gapsly was kind of what we kind of wanted to Bolanoke Salon to be. Like, has multiple melee options. As the main charging gun, as a shoulder cannon stun. Like, I think it'd have been a pretty cool raid.
And this is
I
another
think that's why they
600.
didn't put the Bolanoke cut that high. Yeah, as opposed to this being a flat 600, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 18,000 health, 25 in the range defenses, 16 in melee, 30-30, so it's balanced range melee. 120 movement, 200 top speed movement, 85 thruster gauge, and 60 turning speed with 16, 16, and 9 for its part slots. When it transforms, it goes up to 180 movement speed. Skills wise, evasion, so dodge roll, shock dampeners, high performance, radar, anti-blast stabilizer, transform flight, and ram attack. And then with everything, it has force injector level 2, flight control system program level 2 for its, not getting staggered. I spec ambac. Then did I say melee combat controller level 1? Yeah.
You did now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there you go.
So it does have the 2 melees. So pretty much, yeah, it kind of plays like essentially the Marisai or Zeta, if you will. I would say I would kind of compare it to the Zeta, I think, more than I would the Marasai, mixed with like the beam shoulder cannons. What did you say? The beam shoulder cannons? Was it you who said something about the beam shoulders? Comparing it to what? Gustav, I think.
Wait, who?
I think I know I mentioned that. I
Oh
don't know if
wait, you
Gustav
mentioned
said
it.
anything.
Okay, I couldn't remember which one.
Well,
you
I'm just
mentioned
more saying like I said it existed, but I don't think I compared it to anything.
Yeah,
Oh, I
they
thought
mentioned
somebody.
people mentioned that they stun at the very least, so it's a little bit more on point than like the Mark III.
Okay, I couldn't remember if somebody mentioned the shoulder cannons being like a suit that exists.
I gotcha. I mean, if we're gonna look at it like that, I guess it'd be maybe similar in feel to GM Canon 2 or whatever.
Oh, that Mark
Um,
III. That's what was said. It's kind of like the Mark III. Yeah, I would see it like the Mark III mixed with a Marasai, probably. Bayadine Marasai, minus the sea serpent. I always forget what that thing's called. But yeah, I mean, once you kind of look at the stats and stuff, it feels pretty general. But I don't know. This
I
thing's
mean, it
pretty
also
tanky.
is a general.
Well, yeah, I mean, but at that point, I'm like, okay, is it the stats make it feel more like a general, or because it's a general, they made the stats make it feel more like a general? That makes sense.
It doesn't.
Yeah, pretty
I was
much.
like, wait,
I don't know.
I kind of had you, but like, I get that it's meaty. Like for sure, it's meaty.
Like it's I don't know. I like again, we could say the Mark III could just be altered a little bit and feel like a support, and it definitely looks like a support, but in some ways, with how fast it is and stuff, you could almost say like, okay, I can see it's a general, but is it just because it's a general that they have the stats set up to make it feel like a general? Does that make sense? Because it still has only like one melee and it has cannons, but more like it almost feels more like a shooty general than it does an actual support. It just so
that's
happens.
the point, though, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So kind of what I'm getting at though is like, I don't.
It should
Again,
one of them should have been a support at this point.
Yeah,
Ultimately,
we need more supports here, or we need more raids here. This is just
we need
getting
both.
Yeah.
This is
Like,
getting.
if
I
it used to
don't
be us
think
just
this.
talking about like low cost raids being need to be a thing and all this other shit, but like now it's in high cost too. But they're pushing.
There's still a problem
so
in both. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't feel the support thing really at this. Like, it's just a general that happens. That it's just a suit that happens to have cannons. I don't think the moveset really warrants support style gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, the Mark III has kind of shown us that too already.
Yeah.
Like it's just an afterthought to just keep pressure up while you keep advancing.
Right. Like, I almost think in the case of this suit, like just kind of like we discussed the last time, the Mark III is kind of like the idea of what a good hybrid between suits would be. It more favors the general side over the support side. And I think the Gab 3 is kind of a good example of just a general, you know, like they made it like I think it could work as a raid, but they made a general and it's not like too heavily pushed. Like they made so he can move and use the fading rifle, which I think is good. Like that should never be a standstill charge to begin with. But it's not like it has a quick charge, but it's not like it's like a bad stun. What's the charge? Let's see, what's the charge time on the
Here, I can
3 page?
pull it up.
I got it. So it is. I thought I did. Oh, there it is. 3.5 seconds. So that seems like it's a bit longer than a prototype, which is funny.
Yeah.
But how long is the prototype? Real quick, just while I'm looking at it.
3.5 focus while it's transformed as well. Or sorry, no. 3.5 out of transformation, and then 1.5 when transformed.
That makes sense. I feel like it definitely needs to charge faster. So yeah, it's a second and a half to charge, with the prototype, which it makes sense. He'd stand still to use it. So I get
Downtime's
that,
nice.
but
1.5 seconds.
but like you'd still have the stun option from the cannons though, which I think honestly is a fine kind of option. Like you can do. I actually think it's pretty good in that regard. Like you can kind of do sustained fire with the fading rifle just by like firing it in burst. And if necessary, like say your cannons are cooldown, you also have the option to do a charge shot on it to have a backup stun.
I mean, if it just had like give it one melee swing though, and then it's a beam version of it's a high cost beam version that can fly of the gun cannon. Is kind of the way I look at it, because you can just cannon beam. Like, what's the overheat rate, or what's the heat rate for the shoulder cannons? I mean, again, I'm arguing for the
95.
support.
It's not gonna happen.
But well, I mean, it's not gonna happen. But the thing is, it's just like, I'm definitely not the only one kind of frustrated that, because what do we have left for transforming suits unless they just pull out some variation of a suit, like they did with the MLRS.
Masala.
Oh, Masala. I forget the Masala. Yeah, so there's Methus,
If we're
Masala,
dipping into MSV,
Hammurabi.
I think
Down
Z2. Yeah, Hammurabi.
Yeah, we got a
Gaza
decent
C.
amount still.
So we've still got.
Yeah, they haven't touched the Gaza yet.
Yeah, so I mean, at this point, I want the bound dock. Yeah, that's pretty much my new one that I want to be a support now. Like,
Let's make it a raid.
I mean, honestly, like supports don't have a dodge rule yet. I just don't think it's gonna happen with the way it's going. Like, is it impossible? No, but like I'm right there with it. Everybody that wants the supports to have a dodge roll, but it just doesn't seem like they want to give supports those maneuverability options.
I mean, I don't
like. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, any cool maneuverable seats are never going to be a support in that case.
That's just kind of what it seems like they want to do. Like, I hope supports at least get one, but at the same time, I could also see it not happening in the game. Like, I think if they release transformables right now, and I like I said, if I'm wrong, fantastic. I hope the support players do get one. I think it kind of suck as a raid to like finally get there and they just toot off into the air like you're just sitting there holding the generals, but I just don't see them taking that line of play. Like, I feel like we would have gotten a more maneuverable support. Like, maybe they're waiting for 700 or something. Who knows, for something like that? But right now, like, it just doesn't seem like that's what they have in mind. I mean, I think GBO4 should be able to dodge roll.
2 costs for that.
Right.
Like, never mind even 700 at that point. Like, what the hell is even going to qualify as like a baseline 650, or what's going to cross over into that threshold? 600 already is pretty scant, and 550 is still trying to catch up.
Yeah, I'm just over here thinking, being sad right now. Man,
what cries in support. But I don't know. Like, I can.
There's no better time
to
play mid cost.
Right.
But like, even that opinion is something that's very typical for games like this that have rankings or ratings like that. Like, mid ends up becoming a sweet spot. If you start going over too high, then it's just a lot of bullshit and like issues like that you got to deal with.
Right. But in regards to like Magnum's comparison to the gun cannon, like I would almost venture to, in that sense, like, why can't we compare it to the the G-line assault armor and make it a raid?
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have a shotgun, but like I mean, I don't think it's like I
mean,
think
a
we
lot of
both
people-
agree that it shouldn't have made it a general, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I can agree with that.
Literally, oh good, another fucking general banner. Cool.
I mean, the
Especially
thing
if it's
is,
going to be the other native 600 as well.
yeah, pretty much. Like the other issue that I have with it too, and again with like the G line assault though, I kind of agree slightly with people that the assault should have just been the support.
Support
Yeah,
was in the
and
last game.
because it it has the cannon. You can just do cannon things to give it one downswing with its spear
Give it an
or
insane
lance,
multiplier or whatever.
and
It'd
it
be
has.
interesting too.
I mean, it's
Like
kind of
how
like
do we know what the weapon set was for this gun, the suit in the last game? Did it just have the shotgun, or did it have access to a machine gun? Because like I feel like if it was a support, they would have a sub option for machine gun with it as well. But maybe we're
They
supposed
probably
to.
would.
Maybe the idea would be to play at close range. I mean the G line full custom kind of shows that the support shot with the shotgun definitely dishes out a lot of deeps.
but yeah, if anybody knows what its weapon set is, let us know. Because I mean, again, though, like I get the argument for that being a support, right? And then it ended up being a raid, and I was like, okay, but then you see what they did to it, though. They just kind of changed some stats, and it feels fine for a raid because it has 3 cannon shots, so you don't have the usual 6 cannon shots. So, or 8 or whatever, you know. So you don't have a lot of cannon shots because it's a raid, so it's got a lot less, but it chunks pretty hard, so the damage is up there just to kind of compensate a little bit, which means when it actually hits the support, you're dealing like 4K a cannon shot, which is gross. And then yeah, so it ends up, and it's got a lot of options. So pretty much what I'm seeing is somebody really wanted that thing to be have a lot of melees and do well in melee is what I feel, and that's why it's a raid. So they could put raid stats on it so that it can go in there and lance a lot.
Kind of video of it, but it's still
And
rocking the
pun completely not
shotgun.
intended. I am sorry. But yeah, so in this case, we could definitely, they could give like, who knows, it could have melee combat controller level 2, and then this thing claps in melee, and it has a better melee stat, and then the ranged is just kind of bonus options, right? Or they move the melee down and give it more ranged, and then the 2 melees that it has is maybe that's why. Honestly, I think that might be what threw it out of the support category, just because it would have the beam saber and the lance, even though you can only swing once each. Like, I wonder how that would feel. You know what I'm saying? That would be kind of interesting, having like one swing per weapon. I don't know, I think that actually, now that I'm saying it, that kind of sounds like it would be kind of cool. I don't know if it would be broken for a support to have that kind of stuff, but it would definitely be interesting. So
if you're talking about like multiple weapons.
Well, I mean, it has, so going off the same weapons it has, just kind of altering its stats, right?
Oh, okay.
So essentially, you would give it, if it was a support, you would have more range damage, and then, but it would have the same sub weapon of the lance, and then it would have the beam saber to actually use as well. So
Yeah, I mean that would be another option, right? Just to like redesignate its type and have it be like changed stat wise accordingly.
yeah, so then it would have 1 melee per weapon is kind of what I'm saying. I was like, how would that, having 2 melee weapons but having 1 swing each? That's pretty much what I'm getting at. Like, how would that work or feel, I guess?
I guess change its damage multiplier since it's only doing 1. So it doesn't like shave off as much if you're trying to switch between them.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably, they probably would have the damage multiplier be garbage anyway, so it would kind of just be a bonus afterthought. But the thing is, it would have more ranged damage. And maybe that's one reason why I kind of, like, the more I've been thinking about it, I'm like, we can't have too much of a shooty suit flying around and just shooting people like the Ashimar is, because I know everybody would complain about that, because they'd be like, man, this support's flying around just killing all the generals. And there's nothing we can do about it, right?
Yeah,
Because I'm just imagining...
I think the problem would be the damage output.
I mean, yeah, well, like, we do have supports with the melee combat controller, but it's like...
Mm-hmm.
Their priority makes up for it, right? Because they're just really low on it. And I figure that would be the thing for it too, even if they did change the multiplier. You would have to be really well timed. Because otherwise,
full custom has level 1.
Hmm. I don't know. It just feels like it's going to be probably either really good or kind of meh right now, though. So I guess that's gonna be the next question. What do you guys think of the suit so far? And have you played against it? I got one game.
I have played against it.
I've played against it a little bit. It's kind of interesting, but I don't feel like they've been like super prominent in the matches I've been in. At least not yet.
Yeah, the I don't feel the same problem as like the Ashimar flying around it being amazing, right? So I don't know if it's somebody's just not used to this one yet, or does the Ashimar
I haven't really felt that way about the Ashimar either. It seems like it's kind of fallen off in use.
I guess that is true. I guess it was maybe for real though. The thing that changed my like
the Mark II and the Zeta are still the most prominent things out in any of those. And like the DJ is just the hard counter to some of those because of the shotgun.
Yeah, pretty much. So fair enough.
And even then, its pellet spread sucks. Like I'm starting to realize it now. It's nowhere near as harsh as like the regular shotgun.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not as focused. Like it's still nice to have, but
like it's just like a very light sneeze that sometimes does what it's supposed to do, but otherwise it's just like, oh, this just feels like the other shotgun now.
I feel it. Yeah, pretty much.
Like I'd almost rather it be semi-automatic out of the shrapnel thing if it's going to be that way.
Yeah, I feel it because I play a lot of the GBO2. I guess is kind of why I feel the shotgun actually like please no. But yeah, if I'm playing anything else, now that I think about it, after you comment on that, yeah, I'm right there with you.
Like I'm trying to smack these gaffleys while they're zooming in, and it's just like, like I'm better off just swinging at them at that point.
Pretty much. So I don't know. As far as like the Ashimar comment, like I think the thing that like made me respect the Ashimar was that one guy in that custom game that we played. So there's that one guy out there. So I'm wondering if like that same guy is like wrecking with this thing, or is it? Because so far I haven't seen. I've seen a few in that one game. There was like I think 2 on my team and 1 on the enemy team, and it just didn't feel. It felt kind of lackluster. But I was also the O2, and he kind of just flew at me, and I was just like, bloop, and he just fell on the ground. I was like, missiles. But stats wise, what do you guys think?
Seems okay.
I mean,
I haven't really seen it stand out too much in like either ranged or melee, but it definitely seems meaty, like we were talking before.
Yeah, it's got quite a bit of defense, and then it's got. I mean, it's 30 and 30, and it's ranged and melee, so it's very balanced on its stats.
Yeah, I like that part about it. In that regard, it's 3 higher at base than the Mark II in melee, and 6 higher than the Mark II in range.
Yeah, but
unfortunately, it doesn't have the priority. It's only 2 priority.
You're right about that.
And then also, it's Beam Saber. What's its actual damage on that? because
I believe it said it was 2,000. Granted, you have two.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty standard though. I mean, at least it has that much. Yeah, it's straight 2,000 for the Saber. Trying to see. Oh, they didn't highlight the one for the
2,400 for the fading rifle.
Okay, cool.
In spear mode. So Mark.
Now I'm assuming that one only
is
has one swing.
Fading has one, yeah. Supposedly just like the Marsai version. But you can do multiples with the Saber. Just to compare it to the DJ, it's pretty interesting. At 600, the DJ and the Gapfly have similar stats for or it did the same like spread for melee in regards to like melee and shooting. They're both like 60, but the DJ allocates 3 of its points out of range and puts it towards fighting or melee correction, which is pretty neat. Let's see. It is slower than the DJ. It's the DJ's 135, and the Gapfly is 120 base speed.
It's kind of rough because the DJ is already pretty slow.
Yeah. Transformation speed is 180. High speed is 200 when boosting. DJ is 210. 225. The thrust is pretty relevant though. Like the Gapfly has 85 thrust without parts. Like holy crap, that's sick.
That's pretty insane.
Like you're 15 off of the cap. Like oh my god, it's so nice.
Just going places.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Let's see, turning speed. So the turn rate is 60.
Yeah.
That's actually notably lower. It's 72 on the DJ on the ground. Compared to the Mark II as well. Let's see, it's slower than the Mark. Yeah, so it's 10 slower than the Mark II. DJ's faster than the Mark II. DJ Mark II boosts the same speed, so you're not outrunning a Mark II. You're notably slower than a Mark II by like a fair margin. Like 180 boosted. Oh no, sorry. That's its normal speed and transform. 200 boosted, so it's not that bad. You're not going to outrun a Mark II or a DJ for that matter. You do have more thrust though. Mark II has 665 thrust base. Faster turning speed though. Mark II 66. Space is still 60. Does this thing have specialization?
I would assume
it does not.
Space. Oh wow.
It does not. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was gonna guess space, but yeah.
Let's see. Part slots. So it's 16, 16, 9 for the part slots. So short, medium, and long.
I still think it's funny, by the way, that
41.
Like, I would think that this, its direct competitor would be the Zeta, but I find it funny that we're still comparing it to the Mark II.
Comparing it to the Mark II?
Yeah.
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 Because the Mark II is so strong. It has one part slot total more than the Mark II.
No matter what comes out and no matter what gimmicks become prevalent, the Mark II is still just able to slap through all of it and just go full Unga.
The only way that we will not have to deal with the Mark II is when we go to 650 and then they make
they'll up it.
And then they make a level 3.
Yeah, we'll have level 3 out by then.
Yeah, but if we have 650 and no level 3, then there we go. We did it, guys. Got them.
They'll increase the level and then we'll probably end up getting like a full armor version of it or something.
Oh my.
Zeta Gundam has the same like offensive stats as well. 35 for range, 25 for melee before biosensor. If you're in biosensor, you're just like fucking crushing it at like 55 base and 40 55 base melee and 40 base firing modification. 30 movement, so Zeta Gundam is faster than the Gabthly and just as fast as the Mark II. Faster than Mark II boosting. And that's it's interesting. I'm surprised the part slots are so close on the Mark II level 2 at 550. I guess that's not like that. Like in the first game, the lower the suits were, the more parts they got as they leveled up. But I feel like that's not quite the case in this game. But I'd have to do a little bit more looking. Some of it's a little bit more in the know of the finer stats, like Maniac or Maelstrom could probably comment a little bit more on that. But I feel like with there being a one like slot difference between the two suits with like a one level or like a cost tier difference, seems kind of tight.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, let's see. Yeah, this one's a DJ. It's like I said, the Gapsley has 41 slots, and the DJ, where is it again? There it is. At level 2, anyway. Let's see. So that's 34. That's 44. Interesting. The DJ has 3 more slots at level 2 than the Gabfleet has at level 1. But again, I mean, that makes sense. You want to have the slots higher so they can compete with the higher cost suits. But I mean, the DJ's doing all right. You already said the skills, right, for the suit?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if I should have dodge level 2. That should have been pretty interesting if having so much boost. But those heavy cannons are on its shoulders, so you can't have it roll more than once. Control. And back, finding control. Oh, it has anti-blast stabilizers. That's always a good skill. Like you were saying.
It just became the ace. Oh no.
Good luck.
It's interesting. Like, I don't think the suit's bad. I actually think it's pretty interesting. It should have been something else, but
yeah, it's definitely not bad. Like, I don't think that's ever gonna be the issue for some of these suits.
Like compared to the Mark II, the damage isn't quite as there, but
yeah,
I will say I like the options. There's no shield, but you do have a little more health. Granted, I think there's only a difference of 1k on the health, and I don't know. I feel like a shield in this case is pretty relevant because of how much. Like, it sucks when Shield Senpai dies and you get that stun, but I mean, you know, the damage that gets absorbed, is nice. Like, did we mention that the Gabathy has Vulcans?
Oh,
on top of everything else,
I guess not. But
well, the main reason I point that out is just because the Vulcans aren't a part of its normal like listed armaments. Like, it doesn't normally have Vulcans.
Like, in terms of like lore, or they just added it for the game kind of thing?
Like, it's a non-canon addition to the suit.
That's kind of neat.
Unless there's just some obscure
hope that they do that
thing
for other shit.
I agree. Mark III should have had it.
Yeah, exactly.
I do think it's a good move. Like, I hope we don't have a situation where like freaking lore warriors attack the dev team. It's like, the Gapfleet doesn't have Vulcans, take them away.
Oh my gosh.
Make my mobile suit in the game worse because those didn't exist in the series. Like, fuck you guys. Like, the argument should be give them to the Mark III while you're at it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Why doesn't it have it?
Like, we've already gotten past the point of lore being a thing because of what they've already done with some suits. So, like, yeah.
I mean, which cases? Like, I think they've been pretty on point with it for the most part. I think every weapon that a suit has had has been in some form of media for Gundam, except for the Vulcans.
I guess that's true. But yeah, I remember that.
The game's an unbalanced mess, but you know they've been pretty on the ball.
Into the lore.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
they've been pretty
I was
on the
gonna
ball
say
with the
there's
lore
been
for the
a
most part.
couple of. I want to say there's been a couple of cases, but
I mean, I'm no expert, so I wouldn't know. But
yeah.
like, I feel like
well,
with
I mean,
every
I
suit
don't
I've
know right
looked
off
at
the
on the
top of my
wiki,
head.
yeah,
So there is that. So I'm not an expert either, but the thing is, there has been some points made in chat that I do recall and being like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I guess that isn't lore accurate." So that's the experience I'm remembering. So yeah,
I gotcha.
Holy shit.
Because I mean, it does seem like, I don't know, it could be a placebo thing or maybe the canons. Because like I've been hearing people saying that the mobile suit has an awkward hitbox, and in some cases it might. I almost wonder if the proportions of the suit are kind of off, somewhat. Because I mean, if you look at the height of the suit, for instance, it's supposed to be just as tall as the Mark II.
It looks really weird too. Like I never realized how tiny its legs are when it's actually not transformed until like I see a side profile of it. It's like, what the hell? Because it seems so much more like top heavy.
I mean, bruh, I'm still trying to figure out the mystery of where those freaking claws come from when it transforms.
for real though, right?
Like, what the fuck? Where are those? Like, I was looking at it, it's like, where the
Like
hell
on
did
the
these come from?
Hammurabi, it makes more sense.
Like, my only thing is that the knees open up and the legs and like the actual like inner workings of the legs shoot out of the freaking knees when it transforms, and it uses it as like a claw mechanism. But those claws are nowhere on its body when it's not in mobile armor form. Like, what the hell? It's like spawn parts.
Yes.
It just docks them mid transformation. They just get.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
Somewhere.
I want a transformation sequence every time a Gabthley transforms in game. Like Q Jam project. Like, let's go.
Just 10-second iframes the entire time.
Heck yeah. Of course, you can't attack somebody while they're in the middle of their transformation sequence. That's just rude as fuck.
I mean, they
like,
do
even
it all
bad
the time
guys get that.
Double Zeta.
I think they did it like once in Galgagar, and they still tornadoed them away. It's like, oh, he's getting in. Reactivate the tornado or whatever it was called. I can't remember. And they just like blew that Zonder away and played the transformation sequence. Like, resume the loop.
They just had to give the guy some time to get the canned footage. Like, shit, where did it go? Oh god, make it distract.
Oh shit, they get the bad guys in there.
But yeah, I mean, as far as it's not a support. I'm still.
It's just not.
It's not a raid. It's not a raid.
It's another fucking general.
It is a general.
Also, the streak for not having a raid period is only getting bigger now.
We had the Bolinoak.
No, doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't count that thing.
Does it not?
It's a piece of garbage, dude.
Dude, bro, I will take every raid I can get. Okay, like,
I mean,
if I can count. Okay,
I mean, like, I was like, oh, I see. It can counter the Vulcans on the, because everything else, I'm like, oh, I'm just beaming it to death. It's dying. Okay, cool. I've killed it. And then I'm like,
it's just this big round ball with like wobbly legs. And they nerfed it right out of it because they didn't mean to make it as good as it was.
Well, and then like I'm in my MLRS. And I'm going out there.
Like that would be nice at high cost. Could you imagine, like, if they left it that way, like a hard counter to the MLRS? Like, holy fuck!
Amazing! Are you kidding?
Yeah,
sick.
Because the thing is, I can't Vulcan you.
Was so hyped about that suit when it first came out, and then like an hour later, it's like, oh no, it's actually supposed to suck. Sorry, guys.
I can't Vulcan you. Like, I pretty much have to like use my entire the entire clip for Vulcans just to stagger that thing. It is crazy.
Like, put it this way, like, I'm not looking forward to having an actual cost range where I can actually test that suit out. Like, I know I'm gonna want to give it a shot, but like, fuck, dude.
I think the Bolinoak would be a little bit easier to manage if you lived in Japan.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, I think the suit's incredibly hard to play in latency, like in bad latency, just because of bullshit. Like, I think in
You can
cases
say
where
that
like
for a
your
lot of
priority
raids,
works
too,
right.
like, you're in the wrong class, my dude.
Yeah.
Because like I mean I played against them and like I feel like when I played it, maybe it's just a whole bunch of Mark IIs floating around. But when I was up against it in non-Mark IIs, like it pretty much was just like, hey dude, I'm in the middle of melee stuff over here. Like, could you just like be
Wait your
somewhere
turn.
else right now? Yeah, you just like swing and like either bounce off and he keeps going, or you just see that 0 come up and you get knocked down anyway. It's just like, oh, he's like, you just lay right down there, I'll be right with you, man. And he's just mauling my support to death. He's like, what is this when I'm playing a Bullen Oak? Like, my attacks at the Bullen Oak are like, I bounce off the one priority guy, or
It's like that fucking Iori super where he like puts someone on the ground, tears at them, looks over his shoulder, and just like smashes his whole body. Like, holy
yeah,
shit.
man.
Well,
I don't know. I just think latency makes it really hard. Like it still has all the awkward problems and has to play Battle Operation fair. But I think it'd be nice in a case where like when like I use my melee attack to counter a lower priority suit's melee, and like it actually works for me properly because I understand how the game mechanics work and I don't take damage because I out priority this person. And they get punished, but that's not how the game works for normal people or like
That's
for
really
us.
effective.
So I just feel like we suffer a little bit more because of it. Because like that thing definitely slaps.
I mean, yeah, it definitely when it gets to hit, it's pretty legit. Like Maniac yesterday, he destroyed my shield like 2-3 times with that thing. So yeah, when it gets there, it is scary. But here's my thing: as a O2, I can't really stagger you, but I don't need to because my Vulcans deal so much damage to you because you're like resist or like 10 or whatever for ballistics. And I'm just like, oh, you're already dead.
Yeah, you're already made out of paper mache. It's not a big deal.
Like, not only is it huge, but it's made out of nothing. Like, its health is too low, its resist are too low. Like, I
Is
for
it
how
even particularly fast either?
and it seems slow to me, but like I don't know. Like that's my big issues with it is like I'm normally killing the thing before it can even get to me, or if it does get to me, yes, it gets to clap like every other raid does. But I've almost killed the thing. So it kills me once and then I kill it before it kills me a second time half the time. So I don't know. That's yeah. That's my problem with it. Again, I fight for any raid that I can kill easily. Like pretty much that we had a missed opportunity to have a raid that really counters the GBO2 and would do really well just against the GBO2 right now. Like against the other supports that we have around there.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, at the same time, we're also dealing with a time where like the GPO2 is like one of the few relevant high cost supports now, because
yeah.
we haven't gotten anything else to like contest that its spot. So even going further than to suppress that even more at this point would probably not do very well for that category. At
I
least not for
guess.
high cost.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I mean, we have the Jaeger though, as far as another option. I don't know. I feel like the Jaeger is actually would just completely slap that thing just because of how much damage you can do with the beams against it. This beam resist is nothing. So
I mean, it also doesn't have the fridge door though. Kind of rough on it.
yeah, that is true.
It's
mean,
not
Yeah, those are like the
particularly
strongest
quick either.
points of the suit for sure. Vulcans and fridge door.
And then
We're talking about support GPO2 versus a
yeah,
Yeah.
Jaeger? I don't know. Like I feel like if the Jaeger can't get an initial stun on a GPO2, the GPO2 is just like, come here,
yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
just lead at those rockets, and it's just good game from there.
There's a
I
reason
get
why.
that
rocket
I get
barrage
that
and
we
it's
tend
done.
to pat the Jaeger on the back a lot, but it's pretty plain at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll say, like, as a raid, I still love seeing the Jaeger. Like, I'm not saying it's like the easiest fight. I'd rather go up against the Gundam full armor or something, just because like it doesn't have a good multi-hitting option to break my maneuver armor. But a Jaeger's like a piece of candy too, though. I'll say that much. Like, ooh, Jaeger. you're like a fast moving floaty
You
boy
have
for
no
shield.
You're not fast. You have to
You don't
like
have
charge
none
your
of
shit to
OP
stop.
Vulcans.
Maybe
Yeah.
But I mean, it
takes too many consecutive hits to stop.
You just
Like
shoot-
fuck it.
you just shoot your beam rifle twice though, and you can break maneuver armor. So the problem is
And
hitting.
then do what?
Well, you could just dash in and knock them down at that point, and then run away, then repeat. But I mean, again, I would say though the Jaeger skill cap would be up here because you got to hit your beams, all of them. So that's kind of my argument there, with the Jaeger is it's definitely a higher skill cap. Like the O2 is like, I'm gonna turn and let you hit my shield. I'm gonna turn back and Vulcan you. I'm gonna downswing you. And I'm gonna run away. Yep. Hit my shield some more. Oh, Vulcans, missiles, shield some more. I mean, it's yeah. That shield is gross. When you can utilize that shield to block a lot of things, and it's your get out of stun free card for one stun. Let's go every time, man. Like somebody staggers you, and you're just like, okay, next time free stun. Haha, boom boom. Shoot him with missiles. No big deal. It's yeah. That fridge door does so much. It's shotguns wreck it, but it's pretty OP for having the fridge door. But
I was bringing this up because Lotus is having a seizure in chat about the 7th Gundam.
Oh yeah,
I kind of
I was about to bring up the 7th. Don't worry.
I kind of think.
Don't worry, I got you.
I kind of think I personally like to play the 7th Gundam now a little bit over the Jaeger at the higher cost as well.
And that's what, I was gonna say we've got something that was gonna be what I was gonna bring up was the 7th is the new kind of like next in line to the GBO2 right now, but like I just find it funny when people just like stand
I personally
back and
put the
charge
Mudrock over the 7th Gundam myself.
Oh really?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think
it
I
just
would.
has more immediate stopping power, is more maneuverable. Like you can run the 7th aggressively, but like
do we only have? But wait, do we have
several with armaments mean you still have to play pretty supporty, and in higher cost, that's pretty dangerous to do.
We have a level.
I don't think there's a
3?
600 yet.
Well, no, I mean, there's
but
a 550
the
though,
Mudrock
right?
gets. The Mudrock gets the 550.
Okay. So yeah, I forgot the Mudrock.
No, it doesn't. My bad. It's only 500. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, it's only 500. I wouldn't doubt that it would get another one eventually, but like.
By the way, on a side note, guys, if suddenly I disappear, power went out. There's some bad lightning outside.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But when it gets there, I would definitely I would definitely say like comparable suits. I would probably play the Mudrock if we're just talking about like
when it drops, whatever you got to do, try to get one.
I mean, yeah, that's the main thing with the Mudrock.
Assuming you don't already have MLRS.
Yeah, I was gonna say the main thing with the Mudrock is the skill cap is like down here too. So not only is it like an amazing suit, like it doesn't take much to really like get into that suit and do well. Like there for a while I was like, the full armor is the poor man's Mudrock. Because it wasn't in the DP store. Now the Mudrock's in the DP store, I catch myself saying that every now and then, be like, oh wait, never mind, the Mudrock's in the DP store, just buy the Mudrock, forget the full armor. And yeah, so I just want my 550 Dumb Barrage. That's what I want.
No, I speak to it by chat on my end, but I just think the reason I would even say that is just because like you have to charge beam rifle, but you have to play a little bit more fair. The 7th Gundam, just like I played it yesterday, and I had like Zetas and stuff rushing me down, and like I can somewhat hold my own with a beam rifle into a rocket shot, and that staggers them, and I can try to follow up with a melee option or something like that. But like the Mudrock is just like shooting in your general direction, cannon shot in your general direction, water backing up, and then he's blast you
the very end of it and stun you to death.
Yeah, beam, like grenade.
With the 7th Gundam, you've got to hit on point. Like you've got to hit that follow up, and stuff like that. And chat's talking about the detector at higher levels. Yeah, the detector will be up there too. I think the stun options are crazy.
Yeah, when the detector hits 550, then Yeah, detector's gonna
If
be
anything,
insane.
it's going to be a little dangerous for the detector because everything is going to have maneuver armor at that point. None of its stuff does heavy stagger.
But so anyway, the gap flea.
It sure is a suit.
Yep. Not a support, not a raid.
I'm waiting for the big dick player reels to come through with that suit so we can actually see what it can do. But like until then, it just seems like another general suit. Very serviceable. Cool that it's another transforming suit, but it's just another general.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think it does a bad job at it either. Like, is the kit as strong as the DJs? I don't think so. But is like it's a neat variation, you know, like we're eventually going to get to the point to where 600 starts to get like the high cost starts to get more like suits that are similar to others but different, you know, just like how the FS is a different variation of Zaku, although, you know, that lives in a cost where, you know, that's from a time when suits had to have downsides to have, like, you know, cool features. You know,
I mean, it also comes from a time where like they would give certain suits downsides just arbitrarily. Like think about like the CD not being able to like roll or anything, even though it's like in general, just so that it could, I guess, be okay at shooting. But like we still made that shit work. It's just harder to do that at higher cost. So like all these suits are gonna start melding into each other because they need to be serviceable while also being iconic. Because these aren't like grunt suits anymore. These are like villain of the month suits and like mainline suits that they're throwing out.
Yep. So, if we want to go ahead and hop into the patch notes, I'll go ahead and bring that up. So, the other banner that we got was the Yuma Lightning level 2 and the Full Armor Type B level 2, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was pretty hype. Like I was actually a little bit more excited for that than like the actual suit itself.
Yeah, so
I'm surprised that they gave the Type B a bump up. Like now you might see that a little bit more once people start to get it.
now that is a crazy suit. They just buffed it. They buffed both of them.
Yep.
So the Human Lightning, I don't know if you guys seen it played more recently, but I've been seeing it with bazooka rather than the boombox or the beam rifle.
Interesting. Maybe just a bit more conservative, so you're not like just smacking the shit out of your team. Not to mention like the hit rate for those boombox shells aren't super substantial. So like spreading the stun around is kind of nice, but if you actually want to kill something, you probably just go for like the usual initiate into hit instead.
It's also got an awesome downswing, so nice in front, which we talked about it during when we were going over the patch notes. There, you know, you kind of got to be careful with it a little bit, but I like it because it's not normal Gyogug downswing. I missed so many times with that thing, but I'm just not practiced with Gyogugs, so that too.
Shit, actually.
But full armor type B though, I can definitely speak to that.
I'm glad it's out. That means more people will play it. I need more high cost supports that are just fucking free.
Then just get the chew. You get the chew on.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
Like,
have you
give me
played
some more
against
free
it now,
supports?
though?
What it is though, it's
sure
just
have,
him
and I fucking eat them alive when the generals don't show up.
Oh my gosh! Like what? Okay, so hang on though. Have you seen that missile now though?
Yep, cool story, bro.
Wait, really? Oh my gosh!
Yeah, who cares?
Whoever it was just bad, dude.
No.
Bring it on. 1v1 me right now. Let's go.
I'll use my or Hayakushiki. Like, let's go. The speed is relevant though. Like that is nice.
Like, I can actually hit people from afar with that missile now, so, like, it's actually kinda cool to use. And then you just vomit missiles. The missiles, results may vary. So, I guess when I was testing with it and being like, "Whoa, did they change the missiles?" Sometimes you'll stand still, you can be standing still firing at a target on the ground, and your vomit of missiles will just be like, and just fly off
Sometimes you
somewhere.
projectile, and sometimes just falls all over your shirt.
Yeah, pretty much, like
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, it's
There's a big old streak of spaghetti on your shirt. Like,
I
well,
mean, when
great.
they hit, if they all hit, you just clap, dude. Like that is like you fire them all at like no time. You know, that's like 6K damage if you hit somebody with all of them or something like that. It's gross. Like the amount of damage is insane. I forget exactly how many missiles there are, but like you're hitting for like 300 per missile on like a general, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And there's like 20
It's
of
just
them.
a rough parameter to actually get through on.
And then the ASL they added just is complete garbage. Like most missile ASLs, really. Like you pretty much want to be
Right,
aiming.
Gustav, when I was rushing at you last night, and missiles are just like, we're not going to track at all.
Yeah, like the track is pretty much where somebody was standing, not where kind of they're going, which is
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing with the second move beds too. Like if they could
yeah.
change that and have it at least go a little bit ahead of where they're moving, like I don't know how hard that would be to do
That's gonna be
in
the
this
funnel
kind of game,
system,
but like,
Gustav.
Yeah, that's the
oh
funnels.
god, like they make it different on purpose.
Oh my
Ugh.
gosh. But yeah, so the here I'm pulling up the Type B right now. But as far as I mean, unless you guys have anything else on the Human Lightning, real quick, while I pull this up.
Simplified missile launcher. That's the right one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Missile barf
Yeah.
into really dramatic downswing that you're probably gonna get countered out of. But,
And more
fuck
arm
it.
missile barf. So it's ton of missile on missile action. Sorry. But yeah, I checked severe possible watch to look out for. So
What are the levels for the UMA? Lotus is telling me Lotus mentioned earlier, but he's asking again. The website, he's saying it's a game, and the website said two different things about the level of the suit.
I think it's just a level 2. I've got it pulled up right now. Hang on. I've got the website.
Well, the
pulled up.
banner says it's level 3 on the website, and so
Yeah, I'm
does
pretty sure
the text
it
on the
came
website.
with 2 levels.
Wait, the
banners
banner
do.
right now says Gogu Haimo Human Lightning level 2.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
I'm looking at the
I'm
banner
looking at it,
on
it says
the
level
website.
3.
On the
JP
website?
or US?
US.
I'm looking at JP and it says level 3.
Huh.
Yeah, they also didn't post much on the English Twitter yesterday. They did like one of the notifications for like some of those earlier changes, but they didn't actually put the banner. I don't think.
So the
Like,
store
I tweeted that.
It does say
yesterday.
level 2 on NA. I always look at
That's weird.
JP. JP says level 3, but the text. So the banner itself shows level 2, but the text on the site says level 3. Okay, so it's probably supposed to be level 3. I think it's a translation error on the banner.
I mean,
Human Lightning, I only have 1 level of, so it's kind of stuff. But like, yeah, I'm assuming it's got like 3 at this point.
Ow, that was loud. Okay, so yeah, if I yeet, that's lightning. Yeah, that
Lightning.
Yeah, there we go.
Man's house got crushed by Uma Lightning. That's rough.
So 106. Yeah, okay, so it's like 20. Yeah, so you can deal almost 6,000 damage to a general with the missile vomit. But yeah, as far as the Human Lightning though, it's a solid suit. I like the downswing. Pretty much again what we talked about last time. So I guess we're kind of saying it again this time. Only now that we know how it feels with these buffs. I've seen the Human Lightning played some, but not. I don't think it's like super meta, even with the changes.
I don't see it very much.
That's a nicer way of saying that you didn't see it played well.
Well, I mean, I got clapped by it while I was playing support, so I mean, it worked.
Yeah, it seems like a suit that should be able to perform.
So both of these are 550. The new suit. Do we have 2 levels of it, or is there 3 levels of it? Because Dragon
Uma?
has level 1. So
For the Uma Lightning?
yeah, is it 500 base or is
I
it
mean,
450?
Rhino's telling me
Oh,
it's
okay. So there are
Rhino's telling me
3
it's level
levels of
2.
it. Yeah, there are
Yeah, there
3
should
levels
be.
of it. Okay, cool. Just wanted to clarify that. I didn't know if
Hmm.
we actually. Yeah, so there is 3 levels of it. Cool. But yeah, will it hold its own at 550 though? I guess is the question. I don't
It's kind
think
of
so.
hard to say.
It has double dodge roll, doesn't it? I think that'll help it out. Like has leg cushion stuff like all the other Go Googs have, I would assume. You have shotgun missiles, the simplified.
I mean,
Like
I
I
don't
don't know.
mind
I think it'd
playing
be
it.
interesting.
It's kind of a
Yeah.
shooty. It's got a lot of shooting modifiers, so it is definitely kind of the more. If you like to shoot stuff, it's fun to play. I've got to play it before,
Mhm.
so I like playing it. So if I had one, I would definitely be playing it. If I had to do general,
Oh,
what
only
that
has
cost.
one.
Other than
Apparently, it
that,
has one dodge roll. Feels bad.
oof.
That'd be interesting. It holds its shield, which is always a plus on a Go Goog.
Yep.
Doesn't wear it on its back.
Unless you're in space,
Isn't
the
that
back
an
is nice.
accessory?
No, the back is nice on the ground too. I've said it before. That shield is on the back to protect you from your teammates.
Ah,
That's true. Can't get
Nailed
stunned
it.
out of stuff.
When your support shoots you in the back, your shield catches it for you.
So for the full armor though, honestly at 550, I think it's starts. I think it's just good enough to hold its own. But I don't know. I'm still probably gonna play the GBO2.
Yeah, I mean it's something
Yeah.
for when you just want something different at that point.
Yeah, it's definitely like with the buffs. The pretty much for what I said at 500, right? The detector essentially at 500 was my, like go-to after I got it. It kind of replaced everything I was playing. But now I've got the Hyzak custom, I've got the full custom, I got the full armor type B, and I've got the Hildoffer. So it's nice to have some extra options that are good enough to play in rated. So I would say it's good enough, but yeah, the might be a kind of the Jaeger problems, I guess would be a way to put it as well.
It's just looking like a snack. It's looking like a snack to me.
Hey, at least you have a hard knee stagger. That's all I'm saying. Like all I gotta do is hit you with that missile, and then I can just run.
Like we got a regular full armor in the 600 ace match, and I'm like, oh no, you guys, help!
Oh yeah, the 600 regular full armor. Oof. Wait, do we have a 4? Or is that the 550?
I think it's a 550.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, the regular full armor. I mean, it has one thing to break maneuver armor. You can hit, or well, technically 2 things, but one's
One's a little
you're
unreliable.
firing. Yeah, you're firing that. You're like, okay, here we go, wing and a prayer, let's go, boom. Oh man, I missed. But the beam though, you have to hit all 3 beams and overheat your beam rifle if you're gonna do that. So.
Does it still overheat? I thought they adjusted the heat rate on it.
No,
Was
no,
that, or was that just damage?
I'm talking about the normal full armor.
Oh.
But yeah, the Type B though is awesome. It's 4 shots. Switches really quick. So yeah. But they've got a banner up for it, so you can roll on it. So that's the main reason for talking about both of these suits. Yeah, that's funny on the. Wait a minute. I just looked at the text below on the English. Below it, it's level 3, but on the banner text, it says level 2. That's funny. Ooh. That was a light flash.
We'll probably hear something about that later.
Come on. Power, stay on, please.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, Magnum. It's just different on the banner compared to the website.
Oh, okay. So you were saying in game it's different too.
Which I would assume it would be on the translation, but the website's definitely different. I actually haven't looked in game.
Okay. But yeah. So unless you have anything else on those suits, guys, we can go ahead and hop into the other stuff. By the way, GBO days.
Yeah, Gundam Welfare's here.
Get your free suit today. I got a Gal Carrier today, and it was a Zommel.
Hey. Yeah, I haven't done mine yet today. But my spin yesterday was literally like another Saber's is trash. No, actually, it was a Zaku 1, even worse.
Oof.
So yeah, you gotta remember that it pulls from the entire list of possible suits. It's not curated for the free spin.
So the full armor Type B was nice for supports. High five. And support's got another little piece of candy if you haven't already got it. But in the ticket shop now, the rabbit type. I got that as soon as somebody said that. I just ran straight over to the ticket shop and bought that immediately, no hesitation. I am a
Already had both
fan.
levels.
I'll trade you a Quell.
Yeah, I only had it. I
Deal.
only had enough.
No, you already had the suit.
Yeah, now I have it, so too late now.
If you'd have let me know.
But yeah, the so I guess we can go right to left in this
If
case.
it ever happens, if you ever get it, then I'll trade you the Quell for the Mark II.
Deal. I have a
Oh.
Mark II. I'll make this trade.
I have them both. I'll trade you guys both for something. But
There's
yeah,
a shiny Dom Barrage at 600 cost for you, bud.
yes, please.
Put in the game just for you.
Oh yeah, let's go, dude. Let's go. For real though, I'm serious about the level 4 Dom Barrage. When are we getting that? As soon as we get to level 4, get that complex expansion slot. That's going to be the first suit that I just ticket all the way up to fully upgraded, just because of that complex expansion slot level 2. Let's go. But yeah, the rabbit type though, really good suit. It's got a shield. It's got an extra gun. You know, it's pretty much
Big
all
gun.
things about the Zaku cannon that's awesome, only with a couple of extra bells and whistles. So pretty much I feel like that's what I need to compete at 250 and 300 now with everything else that they've added. I mean, Zaku cannon is probably still my most consistent suit at 250 and 300, but this should be better. And from what I've seen, it is. You do lose a little bit from not being able to use like the level 4 and the level 5 MMP 80. But again, with the extra bells and whistles it has, it kind of makes up for it. Pretty much a big gun. So, what do you guys think about it? You guys have any thoughts?
Meh.
Meh on the suit or meh on the just you haven't played it?
I haven't gotten to do anything with it yet.
Okay.
I think if you like the Zaku cannon, you'll like the rabbit type.
Yeah, I went in and tried out the big gun and stuff.
But it just has more options, so like it'll be fine. It's something that like I've been excited to get for a long time just because it was like really hype at the time, but it's been so long and I'm just like finally I got it.
Yeah.
Now it's principle the matter.
Excitement
more than
is
like
gone.
actually playing the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, can I technically be like I've played more Zaku Cannon games if I play this? Because it's pretty much a Zaku Cannon. It's a Zaku Cannon essentially, only a little bit. You know, it has more stuff. So like playing this, it's kind of like playing the Type B. You're essentially playing the full armor, but with more stuff. So You could play it just like.
I mean,
the
I'll say
normal
in that
ones.
regard, though, every suit looks very free to the tentacle monster. So, I mean,
Oh
Oof.
no!
Oh
Yeah,
no
that's
no
true.
You
no
know.
no!
all suits are snacks when you're
Oh
a scary kaiju.
no! Okay, I gotta try the big gun versus that thing. That's my only hope.
What do you mean you'll never see it coming?
Oh gosh, no 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 no!
It's already
Man,
behind
you
you.
with the pixie yesterday, dude. Oh man, I was like the flight type, and I'd be like, okay, I'm safe. Surprise!
Mhm.
Every time, Emblem, man.
I don't know. I feel like I was
Never-
bullying the hell out of Chad, especially at the end of our match. Like, phew, me and Lotus were fucking going to town on Chad
Oof.
in that city match when I first played the Pixie last night. It was
Oh,
it
see,
was
I was
nice
talking about
having
the
one of the
port
bullies
base
on my
one.
side.
I was
No,
talking about the port base though, like because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fly. I'm like, haha, I fought some people. Now I've got like no health, so I'm just gonna fly over the wing. You can't get over that because you can't fly. And then Emblem's like, surprise, and I'm like, no. But yeah,
Lotus told me that the rabbit type has level 2 anti-stealth, so you would actually be able to see the thing coming.
Pog, dude. Again, it's my answer right there. There it is.
Yeah.
Let's go. Don't 1v1 me. I don't want to 1v1 that thing. But let's go. But yeah. Could recommend if you have the tickets, and it's only 200 for both levels. So yeah. Pretty cheap to get, and it's a great suit at low cost. So yeah. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Next we got the Pell Rider ground heavy arms. Now this is the level 2, so it's the 450 cost. I think it still holds up pretty well there, and could recommend as well. It definitely feels kind of like a raid to me. That's just a general.
The
But
space type is tempting. I would not mind picking it up.
Yeah, I still don't have one of those yet.
oh yeah, I'm a big fan of the space type. We can go ahead and talk about that one first. That is my go-to 400 and 450 cost. I've got the both levels. Like that is a juicy suit. Always be Gatling. So, but what
The
do you
powers
guys?
are fun to play too.
Yeah,
So
that's the main thing.
I wouldn't being a set. Like you, without Hades up, you're generally a pretty solid general. I mean, with Hades, and then during your moment of glory in Hades, like you take a little bit more damage, but you're just like super mode at that point. Like it's pretty nice. Both versions seem pretty well suited.
You know, and you just run faster than a high gog that's boosting away from you. No big deal.
Freaking game. Just can't escape the Dakas when your hitbox is fucking huge.
I mean, it wasn't
Just
even like it wasn't even the hitbox. It was I was literally walking faster than you boosting. That's what was like. When you pointed that out, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this!" Like, I'm gonna go back and like clip that because it's just like, please fix the high gog's like thrust or something. Come on, or
Please don't. I don't need the internet to have a permanent ability to relive my pain.
I mean, nobody has to know it's you.
Okay. Undisclosed actor.
Yeah. Like, it's just remember it's the high cubulog. Yeah.
You were in the cavalry, right?
Oh yeah, I was in the cavalry, wasn't I? Not the yeah. I wonder if it's a cavalry problem compared to
I was gonna say, if you were in the ground, you wouldn't even have to run it. Just take out the big iron and smack his ass.
Yeah, that's true. Like, and that's the other thing too with the heavy arms. Oh, I will say though, the one thing that I have a problem with the Pell Rider heavy arms is its ticket cost is 395. I don't know what the
Shit is
space type.
expensive.
Do we know what the space type cost is?
Still in the 300s, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But like 395 is a bit steep. unless you're just like sitting on 1,000 tickets right now. I might.
Well, it is a 3-star, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Isn't it 450 at base cost?
Just
Let's
don't
see,
be
let's
poor, lol.
no, it's a 400 base cost. So
Yeah, so 400, 450, and 500. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it'll be a bad space suit. I don't know how well it will hold up in the new map. Also, I mean, it's not like you have to rely on the Gatling gun.
yeah, I was gonna say the
Yeah.
new map. It's fine. I played it in there. I'm still rocking it just as well as anywhere else. Like I played in interior just fine. Like it's got you know, you
If
can use
anything,
this
it's
beam rifle,
obnoxious in
bazooka.
interior because you can't get away from that gun as easy.
For
Yeah.
real. Honestly, I think it's fine in there. Like, you can see everyone and just sit in the back and just DACA.
And then when that's reloading, you're just like, well, beam rifle and double beam sabers. Even though I can't melee for garbage, I still can hit things with that suit. Let's go. But yeah, that's another point though about the heavy arms though. You know, it's got the big iron and it's got missiles on the legs. It's got, you know, you got either the beam rifle or you can use a bazooka too if you prefer that. You know, you've got the Hades mode. You got double beam sabers. I mean, you got a little bit of everything. You can play it kind of, you know, range general. So if you wanted to be shooty, you can get in there and go crazy like a raid if you want to. That suit definitely has a little bit of everything, and it's got so many weapons. You can pick your playstyle by customizing how you combo your weapons together with your free setup. That is one thing I like about that suit. But so might be worth the tickets. Good news is you can buy the level 1 in the DP store. Pretty sure. Right?
For the space type?
For the
No, for that.
heavy arms.
Ground? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can check real quick.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I got it from the banner. Like, I think you're right. Let's say, like, I know I don't have a space type in any of my accounts.
For the ground, though, you can. You gotta be Ensign 1, though, but you can. Now, the space type, though, you gotta get that out of course, ticket shop, because this is only the level 1 getting put in. But can recommend.
We
both
can always
of those.
bypass rank with tickets.
Yep.
Or player, pilot rank, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, technically that's rank, and rating is the...
Is your letter grade? Yeah.
And then...
Except during ranked match.
Yeah,
then
right.
your rating is on the line during the rank or whatever for GBO. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, anything else about these suits? Any other last comments about those three?
They're not bad. Space Pell Rider definitely gives you the ability to have a pretty nice versatile across multiple ranges mobile suit that you could use in space. Like, it seems like it's good in both the open and closed space maps, just because you have good secondaries to fall back on. And I mean, the rabbit type will, if you're paying attention to your radar, will be able to see the tentacle monster coming.
Yeah, and you know, Zaka-Can is already a good suit, so
Yeah, but gives you more time to cry for help when no one will listen.
oof.
Just more time to be in the pain dimension as you see
Yes,
everyone else
sir.
around you not doing anything.
Yep, your butt cheeks will be tighter for longer because you will be reacting instead of just getting clapped.
Oh man.
This is not a problem, by the way. Screw anyone who wants the tentacle monster nerfed needs to fucking like go try to be a raid against things in literally every other cost. Like, it feels so good being a raid that just slaps around everybody. Like, oh my god, is that what it's like to be a Mark II?
Pretty much. That's
Well, wiggle arms, yes.
Like, raids need one.
I mean,
we need
this is
one suit.
this is how I feel when I'm You've got the Striker Custom as well.
Yeah, raids need one suit. The Striker Custom, like it when it activates man mode, like you're a little bit more defensible, but as soon as you get like somebody else on you as well, you're just so paper thin that you just like you'll be like mid combo and all of a sudden you'll be dead. You know, you'll like going for the thunder punch and their suit literally dissolves away into nothing. It's like, oh, I'm dead. It's like, what happened?
That's how I feel though. Like what you were saying about the Agu guy. Like, is this how it feels? That's how I feel with the detector. I'm like, oh, we get to. I almost said super bully. No bullies here.
No, there's plenty of bullies.
So yeah. In the DP store though, they added the Zaku 2 FS Shin Matsunaga. I don't know why that was so hard to say, but level 3. So, my question with that suit, do you think it falls off by that cost, or? I mean, it's fun to play because you get to ask people questions.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you just have to focus more on that, right? Like, it's a little bit rougher to just kind of exist as that suit, but I think you can still do it.
I would say so. I mean, the Bolnock has trouble in its native cost, so pushing up a suit in most cases is just tough.
I will say though, I would highly recommend if you're gonna play the level 3, the weapons are in the DP store as well for the level 2 and level 3 axe. The level 3 axe is like, was it like 300 or 600 more damage than the level 1 axe? Then add modifier to that.
It hits hard.
It's pretty expensive. You can try to save up that much.
Yeah,
they just need to go ahead and let you either swing twice with that thing or just give it normal ready up time. Like the fact that it has the longer ready up is just dumb. We're talking like, or I'm on the same page, right? We're talking about the Shin Matsunaga, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just stupid. Like there's no point anymore.
I mean,
they just need to go and get rid of the cute trade-offs.
At 400, I would say that it needs to be different.
I would say it needs to be different at 300. Like the DS can do everything that suit can do and better.
Oh wow! So by the way, I was wrong. Wait, no.
What's up?
No, it is. Oh wait, no, sorry. 500. Math is hard. There we go. Math is hard. Calculus is easy. But yeah, so he goes up 250 per level. Still though, that's 500 extra damage.
The base damage is really high.
Yeah, 2,800 to 3,300 plus on this thing. It starts off with a 40 melee modifier. Like, that's terrifying. Also with the speaking of trade-offs and stuff, the Gelgoog beam rifle, one weapon I would like to bring up real quick. I think at the higher cost, where we just got the like 600 Hymo, I feel like at like the level 3 and the level 4, it should be like the beam rifle should get like reduced like charge focus time. Because at that point, like I don't think the damage it has, the damage output really is justified compared to like all the insta stun beams that exist there. So, and it's like 4.5 seconds or something like that for ready up time. So I think, I mean, have they done it before? Like where they've adjusted? I mean, and it's not unprecedented that they've adjusted weapons to like at higher cost, just like they've adjusted suits. So I feel like the level 1 keep it the same because obviously like the normal Gelgoog in the early production, but the early production's up there too. So like by the time you hit like 400, 450 and stuff, you're getting all these closer to insta staggers these days, and 4.5 second focusing time. Yeah. Like,
I almost kind of wonder if they just need to start making high cost suits with charge rifles. Just do an insta stagger anyway. You just had to charge as like a damage pushing variable option or something. or maybe like how some of the charge suits work, where like to get a secondary effect like piercing or a knee stagger or something like that. Like the knee stagger probably too strong, but
piercing wouldn't be that bad. It'd make you a little bit more mindful of the charge too.
I actually really like the piercing weapons on suits. Like the being able to shoot through your teammates with the Mark III is pretty nice. Especially in a situation where like they're already getting engaged by an opponent and they're pretty much they're acting as cover for the person you're trying to shoot at, and being able to pierce through them to pull, like to save, like they're already staggered, so shooting them is irrelevant. Then you help them out at the same time as well. Like I almost think they should do that for more suits. Just having one that can kind of charge to have it on demand would be pretty nice. And I mean, high cost is just a world of. It's kind of like how our youth is nowadays in the world. It's an age of convenience, you know. Like you really are kind of in an awkward spot sometimes when you don't have access to that, like some kind of instant stagger option. Which I guess why rockets are always so relevant, right?
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's one of those things because I feel like they tried to counteract that by having suits have maneuver armor more often, and it's just like, sure, that kind of helps when they're zooming in, but all you have to do is just wait for them to stop moving around, and then you can just do it anyway.
Yeah, I was kind of talking about it too. I kind of think because it doesn't feel like it anyway, but like maybe I'm wrong and maneuver armor does add something to it, but like the game sure does feel like maneuver armor doesn't adjust your stagger threshold whatsoever. You know? Like, I feel like if something is going to stagger something and it's standing still, like if I'm shooting at you with a machine gun, I feel like it takes the same amount of bullets to stagger you as it does someone who's rushing. You know, because for instance, like I was playing 7th Gundam yesterday, and you can stagger a blue just by shooting him with or a non-maneuver blue. Like I shot Zeta Gundam with a beam rifle and then shot him with a rocket and it staggered him. I literally did the exact same thing to the plant on the enemy team that was rushing at me. Like I know level 2 gives you a damage reduction, but I really think they should give you some additional stagger resistance. Maneuver armor is just too weak, I feel.
Yeah, because you're literally running into bullets at that point, and you're just getting hit faster.
Yeah.
Well, they need
like
they,
both
they
levels should have
skill,
damage reduction too.
They have another skill too for that.
Right, you're talking about the one that the guard custom has.
Well, the
doesn't feel like it changes. It doesn't feel like it changes that much to me, honestly. Like I know it's supposed to, but it sure doesn't fucking feel like it.
Yeah.
I like to count the bullets.
But
say again.
I feel it with the Bolanoke, but it has like what, level 3 or something?
Yeah, it's level 3 that skill. Like I wish it would like tell us the values, like what it changes the stagger threshold to.
It's also because it's a giant hitbox with legs, so it kind of needed it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe they just need to give that skill to all the suits, but I would love to see some numbers on how much it is actually supposed to change, because I feel like it's not very much at all. Because I mean, the main problem I had, besides shotguns just like ruining your entire day when a guard custom first came out, like I feel like in a guard custom mirror, which I had a few of those when it first came out, like the stagger time for the guard customs chest Vulcans against other guard custom felt pretty quick. I don't know. I still kind of think that the guard custom may need a skill that kind of like don't give it to the GP units, especially not the MLRS. But I think that the guard custom needs a skill where like staggers, that any kind of stagger that hits that shield is negated.
I mean, the BB might need it after a certain point, just because it's not very fast. It's just a big ass hitbox regardless of the fridge door. So like,
you might not be wrong.
It might not be bad going forward.
It's just like, what's the point of that shield if I get staggered when I get shot in it? Like I get that it absorbs damage and it's got a lot of HP, but I would be willing to trade off like 2 to 3.
It really should.
Yeah, I'm willing to trade off 2 to 3k HP on that fucking shield for it to negate all stuns that hit it.
Oh yeah, because it's literally the same capacity as the fucking suit. Like I don't need all that.
Yeah.
I just need it to be
half
more
the time
useful
I'm
than
dead
it
before
is.
it's gone. Absolutely.
Because all these assholes are doing is just like hitting my fucking pinky toe on the other side of the thing, and then I'm just getting stunned anyway.
Yeah, like it'd be nice to actually be able to leverage it a little bit more. Because I mean, any sustain, like I don't know, maybe that would just make it to where like But I mean, if you do that, you're just gonna get mauled to death anyway. Like I was gonna say, like you just stand there and just be like, do the shield fire at people and just be like Lamau, and it kind of sucks in a small group situation. But it's not if you're just like in mountain and the match starts and you're in the middle of the fucking like like initial fight area. Everyone's just gonna look at you and just be like, yeah, so I don't even think it'd be too strong the current state of the game. Like maybe when it first came out, but like now I don't think it'd be that bad. I don't know. Maybe I just have raid bias. Yeah, I don't know. Just on another note, sorry, I feel like I'm just I'm just like complaining about raids and their underwhelming protection options at this point. My bad.
No, I mean for real though.
I mean that goes into our other subject thing for later.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Got to talk about that too. But I mean, I kind of agree though a little bit. I feel like certain things need more options. Like, maybe we have some better mobility and dodging for supports or something. Maybe,
That'd be ridiculous.
But okay, for real though, honestly, here's instead of a dodge roll, give us double tackle. Because.
Yeah, they kind of introduced it and then like never really did it again.
Yeah, like start giving supports a double tackle. I think that would be fine. Like it doesn't give us crazy.
Or at least make the tackle come out faster.
Or something like that, yeah.
Because like most of the time
it's latency.
Because like more often than not, if I actually want to move right now and like get out of the way of something, I can't lean on tackle. I have to actually either boost and hope I'm gonna have enough spacing, or just roll away and blow all my boosts to stay alive for like a second longer. As opposed to like actively defending myself.
Pretty much. But
man, yeah. I don't agree. I don't disagree. Like I feel like I know like Lotus was the first one that I remember mentioning that a long time ago, and like I think I mentioned it. I think I may have brought it up during one of the podcasts in the past, but I agree. I think that would be an excellent option for supports to where it's not like super maneuverable and it gives them a second stun option. And with the way most supports play, they're gonna probably have access to it because they're usually just derping it off somewhere, raining death on people because they're all a bunch of monsters. So
horrific bullies.
Yes. So like they probably have access to it most of the time.
But I do agree though with some of the maneuver armor and stuff, like especially when seeing how easy it is with so many generals that can just turn and be like, hey, I see you. I want you. And it's like, no, please. I'm just a little raid. No. Like, for real though, man. I've been playing raid more recently, so I'm feeling Emblem's pain. Like,
and it's just like, I know they played a game because they had the live streams, but like, I don't know, man. Making changes based off of the performance data is one thing, but like there are just some skills that are in the game that feel like they're disconnected from the game,
Yeah.
Like it almost makes you wonder if they're playing their own game in its current meta. Because I mean, it just doesn't hold up. It's like worthless. Yeah, it's just like we were joking about them buffing mobile suits, and they were like, "We gave it quick boost and leg shock absorber." Like, fuck you guys! Like you don't know what you're doing.
That joke comes from reality.
Yeah,
That's actually a thing they did on the early buffs. That's why we make fun of it.
So, like, I mean, what I'm hoping now, seeing this past patch notes, is that they've kind of learned from their mistakes when trying to buff things. And they're actually going to do some more substantial buffs. The main thing, though, and you've been saying this
our raid overhaul, woo!
Yeah, right.
Which meant nothing to nobody.
That problem is still there.
Yeah, the problem's still there.
It's because I brought this up before, but people were like, I remember when we were hearing the early bitching about it, I was like, oh, it's not going to change anything for average players. It's just going to make things a little bit easier for sweaty guys that like those suits. And they were completely right. Like we saw an uptick in those guys on those suits play time, and then it just immediately faded away once people found out that like they were still inferior to other suits at those costs.
Yep.
Except for like the G3.
Yeah, G3's kind of that was kind of nice for that. The suit's been
Yeah, it's been nice for it, but I haven't seen it played that much recently.
Honestly, like I feel like I need to play the G3 more. It's just more of like it's been sitting for so long that I just like never
You're
think
just
about
used
playing
to
it.
not thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just used to not playing it, so I just don't do it, man. And like I know it's good now. Just like I literally glaze over it. Like it doesn't even exist in my hangar. It's like terrible.
If anything, that's
I
worse
do
than
think
just
that
admitting
G3
that
is
there are
legit.
things better than it. It's just the idea that it's just you're so used to it sucking that you don't think about it.
Yeah, but I feel you there for the most part. Like, you know, there's like a bio or maybe even a Chad out there being like, the level 4 goof custom is a literal monster now, ree, or whatever.
Mhm.
But a lot of the changes were,
Pretty
in my opinion,
ineffectual.
pretty. Yeah, they were just like, this seems to work. We gotta make raid players think their lives are getting better, but actually nothing has changed.
and I mean like
And I mean, the bigger thing about that is that, like, immediately after that overhaul, we just got a wave of general suits that were still busting their cheeks.
yep, this is another problem. That's what I
And,
was gonna
like,
say.
all the other raids got relegated to clan match rewards, and they weren't that great either.
Well, and then the other thing too, Emblem's been saying this like a lot, and I agree. They need to fix their game with skills. Like, if they actually started fixing their game properly with skills, then I think it would improve the game's quality of life so much. They actually had proper skill scaling.
And it's funny because it's the easiest thing they can do without overhauling the engine completely, right? And
Right.
they just refuse to touch on it.
So, and then they're
Like the
just
GM at level 200 needs to have balancer, you know? Like it's not that hard. Probably even a dodge roll, maybe, but definitely at least balancer. The Zaku 1 should have maneuver armor.
I mean, the
You know,
game in
maybe it's
general
not on
should
level 1.
probably just be a little bit faster, especially at low cost, so people don't get bored and feel like they can't do anything.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, I feel like low cost is not really sending people up for the higher cost matches. Like I remember people say like, oh, new players just like I think we had a discussion about it in the podcast. Like new players should start in low cost because it's
It's like,
easier.
oh
Like I
no,
disagree. I think they should play in high cost matches.
because you need to
And I still
understand
think
how
that way.
that's going to be when you get your new shiny suit that you liked from the show.
I mean,
Yeah, not only
again,
that, but like most of the suits are getting faster and better.
It's
And
also
the
interesting because,
quality of
like,
suits at lower costs are not there.
I'm hearing newer people who are playing the game, like, they're starting to get fed up with the Zeta shit because they didn't grow up with that. So, like, to them, it just is a nothing suit that doesn't have any nostalgia to them. So now they have all these super high-end suits that, like, mean nothing to them that they just have to deal with on the battlefield, and they just don't want to play them.
Well, I mean, I don't know, like what age group are we talking about? I feel like those players are still asking where's Wing Gundam and Barbatos.
Well, I mean, if that's
Where's
the
the
case, then
Unicorn Gundam?
they're still our age then, in that case, because
yeah, I
that's the
was gonna
same thing
say
that a
Right.
lot of those kids grew up with, as opposed to us actually bothering to look for other series.
yeah,
You know, that's the
Mhm.
bigger.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, there was at least there was Gundam, like the original series on like Toonami.
I didn't even watch that on Toonami myself. Like I watched G Gundam and Gundam Wing. Like I missed the original when it was
Like,
aired.
I was really
And
hyped for the
yeah, I watched
original
other
when it
stuff, yeah.
aired. I remember that because I was like totally on board for like 08 MS and like
Oh yeah,
Stardust.
I guess that's where my confusion came from. Like those series that you guys are talking about, I never watched them on Toonami.
yeah. See, I
Like
watched
I watched
I was
them
Stardust,
all
later.
about that shit.
8th MS Team, Robotech. Let's go ahead and throw another mech series that was on Toonami in there. Man, I was all over the mech series on Toonami. Let's go. So, like, yeah, all the Toonami series, I was all about that. But yeah, then I didn't see Zeta till later. But
And I mean, for me, it's the opposite because like Zeta came. I finally got my eyes glued onto Zeta, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is awesome!" Like quickly became one of my favorites.
oh yeah, well I'm a big fan of Zeta, but it's just like it was definitely something that came later, so I could see some people missing it pretty much what you
Yeah,
said
like what the
about
fuck
people not
are
going to
these? Like
search.
literally who?
Yeah. So, but the yeah, they pretty much just need to use skills to fix their fix a lot of problems, and that would definitely be a huge quality of life. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. You brought up the numbers data that they use, and you know, there's only so much that they can. I feel like they put
Oh.
too much weight on their numbers data to justify why they're changing something. And I don't know, I'm
I
just
think it's
wondering
the
what the
easiest thing for them
backlash.
to look at, other than having to constantly admit that their servers suck. You know, because that's just something they can't fix right now.
Well, how many? You know, I would also like kind of say this too. Like, maybe it doesn't give them a pass, but like, how many people work for BB Studios? You know,
Not to mention they're doing so remotely right now. Like,
Mhm.
it's a little bit different, I would assume.
But like, this has been a problem before the
Yeah.
current epidemic, though. Like, if they've been working remotely the whole time, like I would say so.
Yeah.
But like,
I
that
mean, that's
hasn't like.
just saying that it exacerbates it even further, because like we don't know when
Right.
it's change.
Well, real quick before let's go ahead and finish this, and then we can get into the other topic, because this is
Hmm.
This is starting to bleed into that a
bleed
little
into
bit.
that. So one last thing, clan matches, and there was one thing I was going to ask real quick. So last thing on the list, clan match stuff. So to confirm, the 6th, Saturday, 5 a.m. Pacific, basic 600, city ruins 6v6. And then on the 13th, Monday, and that's 9 p.m. Pacific, simple battle 400, Arctic base 4v4. So I like the 400 cost though at that. That'll be kind of interesting. I'm going to intensify. But the
Yeah, I might have to just, depending on what happens with attendance, I might have to just hold the L on this one until the 4v4. Like, I can freely admit that.
yeah, I might just, because that'll be Saturday morning. I don't know what I'll be doing. And,
Yeah,
well,
I know
mean,
I won't be doing shit. I just need to know if anyone else is gonna want to bother.
yeah. Well, I
That's the
mean
bigger thing.
yeah. I mean, again, it's Saturday, but it's Saturday morning. So what I mean is, like, I don't know if I'll be up, I guess is the right way of saying that. But if I am, then it's like I don't know what I'm going to be doing after that. So I'm like, what are stream plans that day? I guess is more of the question for me if I wake up. But city ruins though. What do you guys think about 6v6 600 city ruins team wise?
Ugh.
Yeah,
Hopefully we can get a team. Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna do dailies in the morning.
It'll just be like playing the last ranked battle.
Just clapped in a different place. Hopefully you guys are managing to get in there stats wise though, as it actually starts to
Last
dip
ranked was
down
on
the
City Ruins, right?
rewards.
I can't remember because
Wasn't
we
it?
didn't have enough.
I think it was. Well, ranked, not clan battle.
Oh, ranked. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it'll just be similar to ranked match, except
Oh,
it's at
okay,
600.
Kind of, probably.
Except there'll be infinitely more coordination and sweat and
Yes.
salt.
Super sweaty.
But one thing too that I was going to mention here around the clan match stuff, you know, we're trying to find people to get into clan matches. What if they implemented a system, and just, you know, obviously random crazy thing talk here, but it would be kind of cool though, if they
We're talking
implemented a
about
system. Talking about what?
rental. I just asked because I feel like I've heard this before. Sorry, that's my bad. Just keep going.
Okay,
I just feel like I know what you're gonna say.
getting
Keep going.
maybe being in multiple clans at the same time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know what he's talking about, because one of my clan members was like, I wish I could be in multiple clans, like in his thing like several times, and he was like, maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Now, I will say though, before the clan matches start, you have to lock in and represent. Like, So that's going to be another thing. You have to, like, I am representing Team Tri-Pants this week, and so you have like a period that you have to choose.
Register for that specific one. Yeah.
I feel like the only
that
reason
would defeat the purpose then, because like that's the bigger reason of being a clan.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much always been the argument for any game that has multiple clans, but that's like the biggest examples, and that's the arguments against them having it in the first place, or anybody who says it's a bad thing that they do have multiple. But like looking at MMOs, Guild Wars 2 or Elder Scrolls Online. Now, at least
you can join multiple clans in those games. Yeah. I've never played anywhere you could do that. That's interesting.
Yeah, you can have multiple clans, but again, everybody's like, well, it doesn't carry much weight. And the only one that I would say that it does carry more weight in is, and you have to represent when you're in Guild Wars 2. But at the same time, in like Elder Scrolls Online, the reason why it carries weight there is you have like trade guilds. And literally, there'll be a guild of 500 people that their entire
like
purpose...
there's a separate role that some guilds can take.
Yeah,
we don't really have in this game.
Yeah, so in that case, it makes sense there. Whereas Guild Wars 2, everybody's like, well, it just diminishes the value of being in a guild to have multiple. And I can kind of see that argument, yeah, because it pretty much does in that. So
I think the underlying problem
just flip-flop around like that anyway. You might as well just rail on them to do ranked and actually get it working. That way you can
the core problem is the number of people in a clan. Just increase the clan numbers. Like the only reason I'm pretty sure the only reason that exists is because like these people probably want to take part in ranked, and like the clan they're currently in doesn't have enough people to do it consistently. Make it to where you have more people. Like everything in the clan system would be easier. Like I don't know, maybe make it more strained, but like when I first heard
that some of the top teams are also just like impromptu clans that are made of like enough for a team.
Yeah,
like, we've seen that consistently too.
Yeah, but I mean, like in that regard, it's like when it first came up. Like assuming we were in a situation where the clan was big enough, like I would say, like if you're like at the point where you're loaning clan members out, why aren't these two clans just not the same clan?
There we go.
You know?
Oh yeah, like we're trying to come up with crazy fixes for the.
But I mean, it just comes down to they just need to make clans bigger. I think is the big thing, and like I mean, honestly, and like in that regard, like if your thing is like, oh, well, this is my friend's clan, or I really like doing whatever, or oh, I don't want to leave Magnum Gaming, or whatever it is. Like ultimately, it comes down to like you're making a choice to stay in a clan that's unable to participate in an event you want to do, and if it doesn't work for you, you need to leave and go to one that does. Like, the people that want this want to have their cake and eat it too. And I don't think it's all on them. Like, I think Battle Operation definitely needs larger clan sizes, but these people want two things. And, I actually didn't know, like, the system where you have two clans is interesting, like Guild Wars and stuff. But like, I didn't think games did that. But like, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. But like, this just sounds like the clan you're in doesn't meet your interests. You need to find one that does.
Yeah,
is kind of what it sounds like to me.
Exactly. Like that is another thing too. Like I'll hear people complain about like not being able to queue, that there's only like 2 people on, and it's like, is the clan full? It's like,
no, there's only 5 members. Like, oh, well, okay. Sorry.
Well, yeah, like, no, I mean, a couple of comments like that. I've had plenty of people come through, on clan day and be like, yeah, we've only got like 2 people on, or we've got 3 people on. And sometimes it's like, it's just the morning and nobody's awake. So fair enough, right?
Right.
There's that too. But at the same time, it's like every now and then there'll be somebody who, I've had a couple that have been like,
they're in the nighttime ones or whatever.
There's either in like during the nighttime ones where it's like there's just nobody who plays this anymore, and I'm like,
then you're just in a dead.
You need a new clan, fam.
Trade up.
You need to leave.
GS3, let's go.
Which, speaking of which, I actually need to kick some people because we're full again. So woot woot. But yeah, clan plugs right now. GS3 for Gustav, MNG for Magnum, and T3P for Emblem.
That's if you want to say clans. TNP, T2P, and T3P. Give me bigger clans.
If they did, would you try
Oh
to
my
consolidate one of them?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
But yeah, so that was one thing I kind of wanted to bring up because I figured we'd get to that. Bigger clans as a discussion would pretty much be the thing we'd come to. But yeah, I just thought the multiple clans would be another interesting option. So
Also,
anyway,
they need another time slot for clan matches in
yes,
general.
another
Like, that's
time slot,
all
please.
they touch on.
Yes, please.
I don't care if other people in time zones get to do it twice. They've probably already been in there good, depending on what they're doing anyway. So like,
For real, they should have them like 12 hours apart each time. That should be it. Or even maybe have a third time slot. Secret option C here, 3 time slots, right? Split it up like every 8 hours or something. But I don't know. They definitely need some fixes to this. And I feel like I don't know. I guess this kind of comes down to their design policies. They're like, we got an idea to implement something. Okay, well let's start. Let's essentially implement the alpha version of it and see what happens, and slowly iterate on it 400 times till we find the right thing to do. The only difference is, in some cases, it takes 3 months each time they decide to change it, or
I was
6
gonna say, it
months.
doesn't even feel like they had that many iterations yet.
Or a year. Well, I'm thinking more of just like the ranked, that is to be determined right now. That we haven't had another one because
It has
I'm
been for like half
yeah,
a year at this
because
point.
they're like, we don't know what to do with this thing now because we tried something, then we tried a new fix, then we overhauled the placing system so that your rival victory is different now, and now we don't know what to do to fix it further, so we're just gonna bench this idea for a while. And speaking of which, real quick, just on the rated thing, or rival thing, I know Emblem, you've had this. Chad had this here the other day, and who else was there? Was like 2 other people in my chat like that were mentioning this, and it's where you lose to your rival, but you beat them
In
score
like
wise
every fucking
in
category,
every
except for like
category
one.
except for one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that has to do with the point distribution overhaul that they did a while back too,
yeah,
right? Like,
exactly. I'm gonna
now
actually
it's actually
do.
starting to put people over.
I'm actually gonna try to. That's one of the videos that I've got listed to do for the like tips and tricks, is going over that, because
How to beat your rival. Help your teammates.
yeah, pretty much. Because before you could game the system, essentially play it like it was ranked, steal kills and everything else, do damage. And then you'd have those games to where you would get minus or +7, so you only lost 4 points even though you lost, or you'd have +7 and then get 17, so hype, right? But now, like, the most consistently, I get +4, right? Even if I'm beating my rival on wins half the time, which is a good thing. I will say, the more narrow the point is, the better the curve will be of distribution of players based on rating. So that's one of my biggest problems of the rival system when first getting into this game, was there was too much of, like, you could game it and kind of go higher in points faster. Now though, it does feel really weird when you're like, I've beat them in every category, and somehow they beat me. But yeah, it's just pretty much that one. Where it does is they take a standard deviation of the average of the entire game, and then give you a point value based on that number. And so I can't remember what the average gives you by base, but let's just say it's 50 points, and then you do like I forget how much it's percentage to the per point per percentage higher over the average equals how many points they give you to your score. But essentially, say you did, well above average, like god tiers level of, pursuit assist, right? Which is one big one that you can get. You can get assist score and pursuit assist if you're playing like a sniper suit, right? And that's one that I see happen a lot, where it's like, how did this other support beat me? Oh, okay, there's pursuit assist is like 5 trillion and their assist score is high because they just shoot everybody once and they get an assist for it. I'm looking at you, Gunner Gundam. But so pretty much in that case, like they'll have like 90 as their like score for that value or something, or like high 80s, 70s to 70 to 90 or something for having something crazy. And then that, that gets added to a total of their score, and that places you first through 12th or first through 10th if you're on 5v5s. And that's how it's determined. And if you have a higher score, you beat your rival. So if you can do really well in 2, maybe 3 categories, that's how you kind of game the system to advance in, beating the rival and not having as bad of a loss or having even a better win. Again, good thing is I don't see too many 16 or 17 point gains, +6 or +7. And then I have a decent amount of +5s and +4s. So that is one good thing about the system, is it narrowed the plus and minus a lot more, but it made it harder to kind of game the game. But yeah.
There are just 2 categories that matter: assist and pursuit assist. Just max out those and you'll beat everybody. Like, oh, you only had a little bit of damage, no kills, 30 deaths,
just
minimal
be on someone's
score.
ass for the entire game.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Just don't do anything until your teammates get attacked and save them.
Yeah, that's what kind of.
And that's something that we've actually been noticing in gameplay too. Like, people are like visibly waiting or using very passive weapons in the meantime until you're actually getting cheeked.
Yeah, that is a little weird when you see that, but yeah.
Do we know how the actual individual scoring for pursuit assist is determined? Like, I was under the impression it's just like when a marker pops up and you like assist or whatever, like you just get like flat score for that. Like, is it like, do we know if it's actually damage based, like based on damage you do when you pursuit assist, or is it just like, pursuit assist 200, pursuit assist 200, or you get 250
weird.
damage,
Like,
here's 50 points or whatever.
Like, I'm I feel like I've done a lot of pursuit assist this game, and it's like I'm thinking it's damage based, but I have no clue.
Yeah, like I'm assuming regular assists are also damage based.
Let me ask you this then:
would
it be the damage on? Would it be the damage on? Or go ahead, Magnum.
Well, regular assist are your score. It's just the score that you get when somebody gets a kill and you get an assist for it. Whatever your score total is, that just gets added together, and that's your final assist score. The pursuit assist is either damage based or there's some flat number, but I thought there has to be something else with it, because I feel like I've gotten like 5 pursuit assists in a game and then 5 in the next one, for instance, and or
I think like a single digit,
and a lot.
5.
No, I mean like a lot and a lot of pursuit assists. Let's just say that rather than 5.
I gotcha. Okay.
And like my pursuit assist score is like 30,000, and the other game where I feel like I did the same thing.
What suit do you think that was? Because I feel like if it was damage based, machine gun style suits like the Dom Barrage for the most part would have a harder time getting pursuit assists.
Oh
because
yeah.
the only thing that matters in the persist is the bullet that you shoot that does it. It's like 100 or whatever,
Yeah, I
200 or
think
whatever
that's what.
damage.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure
That's
that's
kind
what
of
it
why
is.
I think it's more of like bulk score, just so you get a point bonus for the pursuit assist, like flag popping up.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
that's what
certain
I'm
damage.
guessing too. That's my guess, because normally when I'm in a cannon suit, for some reason it's higher than when I'm, intensifying that barrage. So again, like I said, snipers seem to have, every time I'm up against a sniper, they had this godly score, and I'm like, how in the world, dude? I was like assisting all my teammates. And
They're
unless
literally
I'm
just
using,
shooting people as they're following up. And that's all they do the whole game.
yeah, pretty much. Like, so that's why that's my theory on it. So I don't know, unless somebody has tested it and can confirm, then I mean, there's an easy way
I
to
don't think I've ever
test if
seen
we
it
want to
with a
sacrifice.
value that has like different numbers. Like, like it always ends in 00, right?
Yeah.
Assuming you have pursuit assist. So like, I feel
that's
like you're getting it in like 100-point chunks at the very least.
I wonder if it's like, I wonder if it's like a modifier then. I don't know. We could
That could be a
definitely test
possibility.
it. We could definitely test this. We just had like, if we wanted to sacrifice, 16 minutes, or we could go into like a simple battle and just have somebody run at your teammate, and you save them with like a sniper, and then you save them with like something that doesn't chunk as much. But yeah.
Science.
So
I wouldn't mind trying it like at a later point in time.
Yeah, we could definitely.
It's like
do that.
during our
practice,
downtime. Yeah.
Yeah, let me know when. I'm up for that. I'd be up for trying that. But anyway, so yeah, I forgot exactly what tangent there led to what tangent, and yeah, but
Well, our initial thing we were talking about was people being able to like be in multiple clans or whatever.
Yeah. I forget how we ended up talking about the score. Oh, we were talking about the ranked and their iterations on ranked is how we got to that.
Yeah.
And then
okay.
So like mainly, I feel like they just keep coming out with like some kind of, here's the alpha, and then here's some other idea, and that's why that's on hiatus. And then oh yeah, and then So what do you guys think about that though? As far as like, how does it feel when because I know like you've said it before, like it's weird. I like the scoring better, right? Like I said, I like the scoring better, but it is one of those moments where it's like, the big feels bad when you literally have a higher score in every category. And used to, you would have like plus, 6 on that guy, and in this case, he gets like +4 on you.
It's just kind of like something. I think that the reason that like I get it as a team-based game, and they want to push players working as a team, but I feel like the big payoff for the team play comes from the 10 or whatever points. Yeah, the 10 points you get when you win a game. Like that's your reward. That's supposedly your reward for, a group of individuals getting together, working as a team, and winning a game. Like the rival system, on the other hand, feels like it's supposed to be there to reward individual effort. And like, I guess supporting your teammates is individual, like can be individual effort or whatever. But I just think they should take some of the weight off of the support stuff. Like I get it, like that's your individual performance supporting your team members, but like there've definitely been examples, just like what we were just talking about, where you literally beat someone in every category, and you still lose to them as your rival because they have literally like 18 million pursuit assist points to your 1,000, and you're just over here like, well, I finished my plate, like I don't know.
Well, the other
it's
thing
also
too,
turning into that other thing where it's like it's changing people's behavior, but they're just gaming the system now.
Yeah.
And just letting their friends get clapped so that they can look like the hero in terms of the game system.
Bruh, I don't know. That my rated life has not changed any in that case. Like my teammates always let me get clapped.
Well, the other thing too,
generals, hello.
That's them actively ignoring you. Now it's just them ignoring you for points.
Pretty much.
But
Well,
if that was the
like-
case, it would save me when I get enslaved by the entire enemy team, right? But they're all busy fighting that one guy that didn't fall back to help to support that I
Yeah.
pushed, right?
yeah, there you go. Pretty much.
Okay.
They're just prioritizing what they think is the bigger victim.
The other thing too, which I've never been a fan, and there's a reason why most of the competitive games that are like really big do not have any kind of like extra individual adjustment score. And I mean, I know I've talked about this way back in other episodes of this, but the like look at League and stuff, the ideas come up, but then everybody's like, yeah, that's a bad idea. And yeah, I still have to say that it is a bad idea to have like an adjustment score. And again, if they want to take it down to like 1 to 3 point adjustments, I would be okay with that, I guess. But like I still think it's a bit much having like up to 7 point adjustment score for things. Also, another side note, I don't know if we talked about this specifically. I know I mentioned it when it happened in the notes. But by the way, if you're playing a game and one of the enemy team disconnect or rage quit, even at the end, right there at the last second, they rage quit, and you would have still stomped them and had +7 that game. The most you can get if they're your rival is +4, which sucks. So you get punished if you're their rival. You get punished for them leaving. I think that's annoying. And they need.
I think it's annoying when one of your teammates like leaves at the beginning of the game because you lost the first fight and then you're down the entire match, and someone on the enemy team disconnects because of bad connection, and you don't get your disconnection penalty because you had to play an entire game down a man.
Evensies, like whatever.
That's another one that's annoying too. Yeah. So there's some things that's annoying with that for sure. The whole disconnect thing. Ugh.
So some that disagree, but like I don't think the damage debuff, like you'd have to be like pretty on point. Like, you know, I've lost games to 4, like the groups of 4, you know, before. Like it happens. But like I feel like for the most case, whenever like somebody's down a person, the damage or the defensive buff that they give to the team that's down a person isn't enough.
No.
Like you can definitely notice it, but is it enough to like actively like the super coordinated teams? It's enough, but in most cases, no.
Yeah,
your team is just too disorganized.
There's the other thing about the idea of like, say you did lose somebody, but then you ended up holding like a lead, and then there's like one less person on your team to kill, essentially. So it kind of makes it hard for them to catch up if you're actually on your shit. So for those teams, they would be like even more in the advantage because they're just like damaging people more. And I can kind of see that, but like, I don't know how often that happens for that to be a reason for them to hold back. You know, if you want to talk about scenarios where they should be looking at statistics, that would be a good one.
Yeah, that would be for real though. Which, by the way, we can go ahead and just start talking about the salt mine. That is
this game.
This game, yeah.
So this comes from the idea of like today and even a couple other times I've been flicking through like different channels and just massive salt fest, people ending early and generally just kind of being fed up with the game, even though they're like trying to get on this category. And I wonder if it's like, as much as we rag on this game, are they feeling it for the same reasons? Like, what can actually be changed to keep people's interest in this going forward? Because I wonder how many people who are like a little bit fresher to like streaming this, like, how long are they actually going to be sticking to it unless they're feeling the same kind of shit that we are all the time?
Well, here's a good example today.
Because in that case, it's not even just like game fatigue; it's just frustrations with the game in general.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you guys got a creative name for this segment, I've just called it Salt Talk. But yeah, the a really
State
good
of the game.
state of. I don't know if I can fit that in here. But the for real though, today me and Chad were playing. We did 2 games. We didn't really have time for a third, and instead of him finishing his dailies for that token, he went on to play some Black Mesa because he was done and the salt was real. And yeah, like there was, tackles that should have happened. I mean, it was so bad. We were also getting stomped in the first space game. We think the score was like maybe 3,000 to their like 19,000. Like it was pretty bad. We got stomped and there was frustrations everywhere. So I mean, I was just like, well, at this point we're 12,000 down. I'm going to go ahead and work on the overlay real quick.
Yeah, I remember that
stuff done on that. Yeah,
I can say I feel you. I mean, my matches were pretty rough. Like I won games, but it's just it's just the usual stuff of the teams I'm helping out are getting crushed. I mean, I was planning on playing until the podcast, but I just got to the point where I was like, fuck this. I want to watch build fighters with the community on,
like literally just trying to do
YouTube instead.
else.
Like I later was just like, I don't want to play anymore. Like let me just watch build fighters instead.
I mean, I like to say I'm close to tilt proof, but I will say I'm getting some of those frustrations now. I don't know what it is or what's changed. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling some of the like I don't know what it is. Specifically at certain costs too, I find that I have more frustrations than others. I don't know which ones, but I can feel it. One day I'll play and I'll be like, yeah, this is amazing. Next day I'll play, I'll be like, what am I even doing, dude?
Where was the guy from yesterday? Can he come back?
Yeah, right.
But kind of what you're saying, Gustav. Like, I'm guessing were these players like newer for the most part, or I don't know.
Well, some of the examples are you guys as well, especially like what we were just talking about, like literally wanting to play anything else after a while. But yeah, even like some different dudes, it's just like, man, these matches are really frustrating and all this other stuff. And I don't know if it's just the idea that they're not as well versed in the game, and so like the things that are frustrating them are things they can overcome, or is it really just the state of the game itself as it is? Because I feel like even as you try to learn the game, you're still fighting against the game, right?
Yeah. Well,
I would almost say like my fight is against latency. Like I think I would be a lot better. Like it would take some getting used to, like not gonna lie. I've played matches where latency is like bearable and it feels more like the game should play. And it's like I'm out of water, like I don't know how to act. Like I was getting slapped around by a support with its beam Saber because like usually there's that delay from lag where like that I'm like compensating for. But like the gunner gun was literally just like neutral. Like wait, what? But like I had a moment today where I was playing the BD1 and a bald guy beta did his downswing on me, and like I saw him coming before he even started, and I'm using hand motions, but I jumped to his side. Like I was on his right side, and I still got hit by both swings on the downswing and knocked over.
God.
Like that's honestly my all maybe it'd eventually grow to that point, but like I honestly think latency, at least for Western players probably, or maybe just like non-JP players, is the biggest frustration point in the game. Like it's not like I feel like it's not like a shooter where you're the difference between like you were standing in one spot and you get one shot headshot sniped from behind a wall. Like that's frustrating.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just
At least
whenever you're like,
then you're back in there. But with this, you're like
right
suffering through all these mistakes because your suit isn't that killable.
Oh, Say
Like,
that
you
again,
just
last
Gustav.
long
You just went too Robotronic. Repeat that.
like in this game, like when you're getting bodied like that, those moments are just lasting a lot longer because your suit doesn't die that quickly.
Yeah, like the you have to sit through a punishment for something that like on your end was perfectly
Wasn't even your
fine.
fault, yeah.
Yeah, like, and I feel like that's part of what's frustrating about it. It's just like you have to sit there and get fucking owned because like on your side you dodged, but because of latency, like you were actually like I bet if I was looking on his side, like I was in front of him the whole time, but on my end I'm like out of the way adjacent to him, like that's incredibly frustrating to me.
I mean, there's been times where I've had, like the multi Twitch up or just had the streams going, and like one of you guys have said like, what was that? You weren't even near me, or I dodged, or I did this, or I saw like myself dodge, and I didn't really say anything, but I'm like, click. What was that? Or like, I completely agree. I should have missed you by what you're seeing. For me, my beam saber was through your chest and stabbing the teammate behind you, pretty much. So that makes no sense. So yeah, there's like the latency problem is the biggest deal, and I think that's one of the biggest frustrations. Whenever you have anything that doesn't work, like the biggest thing that like annoys me, you want to see me like rage at something when something should work but it doesn't work. Now the thing is, I do have maybe a bit too much of a tolerance. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'm just that much of a masochist that I don't mind things. But
Let's say I feel like battle operations is an example of what you just said. Well, I should have taken damage from that swung. My iframes are like my tackle. What did my tackle happen? Like he was literally rearing back his heat hawk, and I tackled into him.
yeah. So like at that point, I think what I've done for myself and what I've said is, and this is just the only thing that makes sense because I know how much when. So like here's an example of when something doesn't work and it annoys me. Like say Path of Exile, when this one thing that's supposed to defend. Oh, by the way, guys, it was bugged, and that's why you died and lost your like entire week's worth of progress, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
This was bugged, so your actual layer of defense that you thought you had of your safety net didn't exist, and so you died. Which I mean, I've lost so many characters now that it's like, okay, next
You're
character.
numb to it,
right?
Kind of just
Yeah.
desensitized.
So, but at the same time, it would be a mechanic like that. If it was supposed to work, like, here is the easiest thing, like, it shouldn't be a thing that's messed up and it breaks. Then, that's where I'm like, just completely, fuck, right?
Well, the other thing about that is that it's something inherent with the system as opposed to just like the servers and stuff too, right? Like it's something that can be fixed.
Yeah. So that's why it frustrates me when it's something, I mean, it can be fixed, but if it's something that should have been not broke in the first place, fair enough. Now with GBO2, what keeps me sane, I guess, is that lag is a thing. I play the game, I know it's going to lag. Networking is a hard thing to do. And since we're peer-to-peer, like I've kind of just accepted that there's going to be some BS lag things that happen, and
I mean, I can't
try to
peer-to-peer
play.
in a 2018 game in
Yeah,
general, though.
that's still for real though.
That's also a little baffling in and of itself.
Yeah, that is true. And at the same time, though, it's like I'm playing the game. I've accepted that it's going to be a thing. So what can I do to play around it? And sometimes I can't tackle because I know I can't tackle. And there's going to be 50 million BS tackles. So I just accept that if I'm tackling, I'm rolling the dice. It's complete RNG whether I'm going to get that tackle or not. And that's how it's justified in my head to not freak out. But I can understand the frustration because, like, it teaches you to tackle in like the tutorial stuff. So, you know,
It's actually not safe at all. You're actually putting yourself at a disadvantage by tackling sometimes.
yeah. So, but then there's the missiles shooting past you, and you know that kind of thing. And I'm like, well, that's lag. It sucks. I thought I dodged, but I guess I didn't in time. You know, and then there's the melees. How did they melee me when I meleeed them and we both clashed? And it should have just been a neutral thing, but they dealt damage to me, and it's lag. And I'm like, okay, well the answer is lag. So I gotta adjust how I play and not put myself in those situations if I want to, you know, compete with that. And that's the only reason that I stay sane. But is that okay?
It's really not.
I don't think so. No, it's not an
This
okay
is
thing.
the same guy who tries to run a podcast on faulty internet pretty consistently. On top of also playing on a recording of his actual like game that's super delayed, and suddenly gets unlocked in an exam mode when he plays on a regular ass monitor. So like your threshold for what pisses you off and what you'll actually deal with is very skewed.
Yeah. So, and I understand that. And the thing is, though, are any of those problems actually acceptable? No, not at all. They're not acceptable. They need to be fixed. Then we need some, well, dedicated servers. But at that point, they'd have to redo pretty much the entire game and do the whole framework.
Game.
Yeah.
By the way, for GBO3 now.
So it's one of those like, is that going to be enough frustration to push people away? And I could see it, and it's kind of sad. But
It's another one of those things too, because we got Maxi Boost coming in a few weeks, and you can, you know, say it's such a different game until you're blue in the face, but it's still a Gundam game, and it's still gonna have a lot more shit that people actually recognize and give a shit about in terms of suits too. And that network test was not that bad by comparison.
no, and I mean my crappy internet was the only thing that was bad for me. And you know, I'm still working on that video, video editing hard, but or time consuming really. So, but I'm definitely throwing those JoJo moments in. Thanks for that one. But yeah, but the biggest thing that I was recording for it a little bit, and one of the things that I was saying is just like, on my end, it was a little frustrating. But then again, my ISP is bleh, and you know I'm also in the middle of nowhere, so at the same time, both of that somewhere something's happening between my ISP and their servers, and then playing to the peer-to-peer. And whenever I connect to that peer-to-peer host, it would yeet me out, and I'd have to rejoin the lobby entirely. And for me, that that was the thing. Hopefully, it doesn't do it when on the actual release. But I mean, it's as far as just actual performance issues, though, it was nailed it. Like that was good. Like nothing really felt like BS, or at least I couldn't tell. You know, maybe I'm just too new at the game to actually know what is and what isn't BS. But yeah, felt great.
Yeah, especially like even when we were getting outside of like custom rooms, like just casual matchmaking and stuff, felt really smooth, surprisingly. So I'm excited to see where that goes, but I also feel like if people actually get into that style of game, it's going to diminish GBO2 pretty considerably. Because even if they don't outright drop it, it's just going to be something else for them to switch to when they get pissed off.
Yeah.
Which means that they're, they don't have a reason to be patient with it anymore.
Well, and here's another thing too. Servers kind of dip here Monday or Tuesday, and like Chad couldn't complete his dailies even though we played 4 or 5 games.
Chad really seems like he just needs to actually stick with the game and play more sometimes, though.
Dude, I don't know, man.
I don't know a lot of time for it because, like, dailies in and of themselves, unless you're just hanging out with a bunch of paste eaters and like aren't getting those wins, shouldn't be that hard to get through.
Oh well,
I don't know, man.
It wasn't
Chad
the
plays
wins,
a lot.
though.
Like he's usually top 3 in our missions.
Yeah,
whenever we're doing stuff, and like I think Chad plays the game a considerable amount.
Yeah,
not even gonna lie.
He had to work like the previous day or whatever, and then so he put the dailies off, and we had enough time. I mean, 5 games should be enough to get the dailies done, and it wasn't a problem because we were playing custom, and because the servers went to shit, he got yeeted out. Like we got yeeted out a total of like I think 5 times between each other. Yeah. So I started an hour earlier, and that's the only reason why I got my dailies done. Otherwise,
because you were like just playing other matches.
yeah, I think I had one game where I just got my dailies done, and even in regular matches, we were getting yeeted out. That's the thing. I got yeeted out. Yeah, one of us got yeeted out 3 times, one of us 2, and yeah, that was dumb. And the thing is, now that's their net code, which needs to be fixed. And we kind of talked about this last night. I don't know whether it's where they're fixing the clan matches and they're breaking other things by fixing those, and it's just going back and forth, and that's probably what it is. Yeah. So like, they definitely got to fix their net code. That is a for sure thing.
Because like I remember a big part of it because we were just like in maintenance limbo for like what, several days while they were trying to do that. Like we just constantly had that notification of.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then recently it was actually just PSN in its totality. It was like trying to shit the bed really hard.
Led to Monster Prom. That was funny. And then, but like yes, there is network issues now, so everything might just seem a little bit worse more recently. Maybe that's also it too, with the bad infrastructure and everything. But but yeah, the so I don't think it's a time issue for chat. It was just like the bad server thing. And my point though with the bad servers, before the Western release, I would have that happen probably once a day. And I would also be a true lag type and invisible to the enemy team, and I could just run around and kill people, and they wouldn't even know where I was at.
I've never had that happen before.
About once a day.
I think.
And I remember you used to make fun of you just saying that you were like lag switching the whole time. It's like, I don't know how this is happening, guys.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I've even got the highlight video for that one too. So it's like, and it's really just my bad internet trying to mix with their net code and peer-to-peer. And that's pretty much, so if like, it's funny, I've had some people be like, what is with cheaters? Or I see a Reddit comment like, what is with cheaters in this game? And it's like, no, they're not cheating. They're just, it's just bad net code mixed with bad internet, mixed with peer-to-peer. So you're just they're just invisible. Like, they're not defusing your bomb. Like, I've had the base disappear.
It could almost be more reassuring if it was just them cheating, right? Like, at least then you know it's an issue.
Yeah, right.
Just because the game sucks.
Yeah, so like, it's like, I hate to tell you this, but game kind of sucks in that regard. And then like, there's the I've had a base disappear on me, so I couldn't see either my base or the enemy base.
Oh yeah, that's right. Holy shit.
Yeah. So that I've got that clip as well. With I'm flying around the Xeon, and there's a guy who planted the bomb, and I'm like, I can't defuse this.
It's like, are you sure he did? Where?
What base?
And I'm like, oh yeah, Xeon cheese time. Here we go. I'm gonna blow up your. It doesn't exist. What?
Your mound of air over here.
I was like, they nerfed me. They know.
Nerfed the Xeon. Active camo.
Active camo to my Xeon cheese. What is this nonsense?
Sorry, this is a Gundam podcast. Mirage Colioid.
Oh, so yeah, I've had some crazy bugs, and it's pretty much all just due to network issues. So my point with that is that's over here, where we now have a Western release server to kind of connect to. So I haven't had that since the Western release.
It favors us for the actual peer thing.
I still think we somehow get routed through it though, because I haven't had the invisible issue happen, but like, I have to say maybe 5 times since, or 6. Like, it's not happened that often.
Like I've had it happen a few times, but like I guess the bigger thing is just like I haven't been completely yeeted out of games.
Yeah, and I haven't had that happen
Like
too many times.
normally the entire match just vanishes instead.
Well, actually, when the match vanishes, that's what I'm saying. Getting yeeted out of games, like that's the match vanishing. Like that, what could have happened is you were the only one who DC'd out of everybody. You were the random who disconnected, and it says like everybody left or whatever, and you have the like little bar thing come up and say this will not count against you. Like that's exactly what happened to me. And I'm like, oh, did the game explode? And Chad's like, no, you just left. We're still playing. And that's most of the time, if you have that come up, the game might not have exploded. You just disconnect. And so there's that.
It's a cover up. Oh no.
Yeah. So the yeeting out of a game. Yeah. So point being with that though, a lot of times I hear this a lot from anybody who's in Europe. And here's my point. Anybody playing this in Europe, if they're gonna play Gundam Versus when that comes out, like they're not gonna have hardly any problem. Like it's gonna feel probably really good. And like
The entire European player base just shifts to maxi boost.
yeah, I mean for real though. I mean like if it's going on like the connection and stuff because like
and that's out of functionality, right? Like that's not even whether or not they actually like the game. It's just like, man, like fuck. At least this actually works.
yeah, if that's the case, then that's going to be the shift for them because they don't have a European server to even route through. And like I hear all the time from people coming in, or even just in other Discords that I'm in with a couple other groups that when I first started playing this, that I know like they don't play it anymore. All the European players pretty much don't play this game anymore because like they would, you know, the missile even on wired connection would be like if you're playing on Wi-Fi around here. So like the missile's like half a mile off your screen, and you're still getting hit by it from whatever bazooka. And it's yeah, so they've got that frustration. They got double the lag to deal with. They're getting kicked out of games. Like I know there's one person who's had like was it they played for 4 hours and they couldn't get a single game to complete because at the end it would just disconnect with that same error message. And so their dailies didn't get done that day. I mean, also with that one specifically though, I also played that day and I was getting it. That was another server problem, but they have that regularly. Pretty much European players have that pretty regularly. That's just a
You
constant
pretty much got
thing.
to experience them for a day.
Yeah. So they had it all day. I had it for like half of my games. So, and then most of the time, every day, they have it happen at least once or twice. So it's like, there's some ISP issue there. There's some, again, ISP plus peer-to-peer plus bad net code. So yeah, that's for me. I think that's the biggest frustration. But anything else you wanted to cover with that, Gustav?
Yeah, I feel like we rag on this game pretty consistently during the podcast. I just wanted to like point out the fact that it's not just us. Like across like the streamer base along with the player base, like something has to give, and it's really hard to pin down what can actually be done with the resources they have.
Move to Japan law.
China.
I mean, China probably fine.
I mean, yeah,
too.
they have. Yeah, there you go.
I've played.
For sure.
Yeah, no,
like
I mean,
to kind of add a little bit of context to that. Like I've played games with Jonah Choppy before. If you guys ever seen him stream, it's he's I believe he's in Singapore, and he plays the game. And I mean, he says whenever he's playing matches, the game's fine, but like he's played a fuss, and he says it becomes like it becomes like a laggy mess. So, like you could probably be in the China area,
yeah,
depending on where you are, and be fine too.
Pretty much anywhere over there close by. I mean, that would be just like playing only in NA kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
I even wonder about that sometimes. I mean,
Because
like
our
I feel like
custom
in the
matches
community
get kind of
matches,
messy too. Yeah.
yeah.
But
'Cause I'd almost like to just figure out who in my community lives in like Washington and just have a match against them and see if it
just
has the
West
same
Coast.
problems.
Yeah, just West
Yeah.
Coast only. Well, I mean, the other thing too is like when we do our
Well, the
1v1s
messy
though,
thing is that I was gonna say 1v1, the game just runs better.
it's
Right?
smoother.
Like,
I have
between
like
doing 1v1s and like doing practice stuff, when you're not loading in other actual players, the game doesn't chug frame wise.
yeah, I was gonna say like I have like an extra 30 frames just playing
And that's
1v1s.
just the engine. That's
Yeah.
just us talking not even about the netcode, just the engine being poorly optimized.
Pretty much. But well, about all I got.
But I can
Game
see
is
it being
cheap, but we'll
frustrating.
keep talking about it.
Mhm.
So, do we want to do some suit guesses and do some shoutouts?
Okie dokie. I don't fucking know anymore.
One kind of honorable mention thing I'd like to do before the mobile suit guest is just to
Mhm.
remind people that anniversary is next month.
Hey.
Oh,
So just keep that in mind.
ooh, really is. It'll be close to the end of the month, won't it?
That being said,
Yep.
I'm a little surprised that they whipped out the Ghastly.
It's time.
Time. still counting at it, huh?
Anniversary Cubalate faux show.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
Watch it just
say.
a bunch of full armor variants, and then we don't get it.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Palace Athene's the
Ooh.
last one. Let's go, boys.
Hey, for real though, we're gonna have Palace Athene, the O, Cubile. Hopefully we get the Bound Dog sooner, but Bound Dog, yeah, those four for sure. There we go. That's what I'm calling for the for that. Other than that, next week, who knows, man?
Hopefully a Hazel, so that we can just get through that.
Let's see, what general would I want to see next week?
None.
I think Nerd at Barzan. The Domo would be a pretty cool
Yeah.
general. The Methus would be a pretty cool general.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Full Armor Mark II would be a pretty cool
I'm
general.
surprised.
Oh, no.
I am.
He is definitely, the memes are strong with this one.
Nemo
The
2 would be a
cumulative
cool. Yeah, Nemo 2 would be a cool general. Yeah, Hammurabi's definitely going to be a general.
Full armor Zeta.
No, 1000% a general. Z2 general.
Yep.
Oof.
Full armor Mark III general.
Yeah.
Can't wait for my new general suit next week.
Yep. Mobile suit general operation.
Aren't you excited?
Hmm.
I can't wait for the overhaul during the anniversary where everything just becomes a general suit.
They might do another big change because I know they're playing around with the idea of removing the restrictions at higher cost. I wonder if that might be something they look into doing during anniversary.
Like if that's what they mean for it, like that'd be kind of interesting too.
I kind of hope we have another big adjustment for the anniversary. Like
There has to be a
kind of
paradigm
edited the
shift
game
at
up.
this point, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
I
as
think
much
they
as we
need to do
rag on
something.
like their choices for banners, like there has to be another like solution around it.
Yeah, because I mean, the state of the current game is just, it's kind of weird. Like, I'd almost be okay with, like, they would have to do something about pre-existing suits, possibly, but and like maybe just like guarantee that they won't release a level 3 Mark II, because like
Just
maybe
don't.
the DJs okay, but like I'm just saying like I'd be okay with them even like saying that they want to like kind of almost do like a reset at higher cost in a sense, you know, kind of like we talked about last week.
Like a, not a cross country, but like just
like them kind of like not necessarily like us having like like the Zeta going to be a GM at 600, but them just kind of like bringing the power level back down. Like it peaks at 550, and you can't in like, you know, maybe you just can't play 550. Oh, but then it would be unplayable. I don't even know, because like the way the system works now, you wouldn't be able to bring in those suits. Like you'd have nothing to play. Like I don't know.
It's just in a rough spot, and this comes back to something we used to talk about in the old days of like, how the fuck are they gonna assign Zeta suits when they're all supposed to do so many things?
Yeah.
And like you don't want one to be shitty because you want them to sell.
Right.
So of course they're all gonna end up being generals so that they can just like, you know, be not spread thin even like just keep doing everything.
I think my 3 though. Gonna stick with the Palace Athene for a support. I'm still banking
general.
Sorry, yeah, Palace Athene general. The Bound Dog general transforming.
Yeah, it's transforming. It's not going to be a support.
Masala transforming general. Meth is transforming general. Hammurabi transforming general. Did I name all the transforming generals, which is all the transforming suits?
Yeah, they messed up. They messed up with the.
Yeah, I
They fucked up with the Gaplant. Yeah,
yeah.
They ruined the Gaplant by making it a raid.
It's red. Wait.
Like it was already bad enough that it's just this big fat hitbox that has no shields. Now it's just getting beaten around by Mark IIs and anything else that like looks at it funny.
Pretty much.
Big dumbass Dorito looking motherfucker.
Sorry, I digress. I didn't mean to bleed my memes over to you, but you said Palace Athene support. What else?
No, I mean that's pretty much anything that transforms support. Yes, there we go. I just want to see a transforming support, please. That's what I want to see, right? Like I don't.
This is support in general, right? Like as much as I don't want to count.
Madam, could I ask you to give me a mobile suit suggestion that will actually be in the game?
I think that'll actually happen.
Yeah.
A plausible guess here.
Yes. Yes, I need a like actual mobile suit suggestion, please. Not these fantasies you support players live in.
This is what this segment's become at this point. Like, don't expect anything less.
Okay, raid Methus. How about that?
I mean, that might be my dream too. Like, it's like these suggestions are nice, but we need you to be realistic here. We're a company trying to make profits. It's like he said a transforming support. Yeah, Kobe's over here just like look at this guy.
Keep dreaming, bud.
I just finished watching Downtime.
I'm open to being surprised, but like,
for sure. Like I said, like if I have to be wrong about supports having more maneuverability options, then I'm okay with it. But like right now, it don't look like it. You know, just like I don't think we'll see the suits from the second season of Thunderbolt. Does that thing already have a Blu-ray? How many years has
real though, right?
December Sky been out? What is that's it, right?
No, Bandit Flower.
Bandit Flower. Yeah, Bandit Flower. How long has Bandit Flower been out?
For a while.
It's the least.
Would you say it's been more than?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
it's been out for a hot minute.
Maybe
like everyone's talking about, just read the manga, lol. Like, first of all, half of you guys make fun of the manga segment. Second of all, I don't really give a flying fuck if it's not going to be animated at this point.
Right. I mean, shoot. The
Because it
fan base
obviously
is
means they didn't give that much of a shit if that's the case.
yeah. I mean, those anybody that's crying about freaking Thunderbolt not being animated, these are getting lined behind fucking Crossbone, man.
Oh my god, yeah. And that's the other thing, right? Like when we were talking about like suits that should be even in like verses and stuff, it's just like get in line, fuckers, let's go. It's the only IP that actually respects Crossbone at this point.
Yeah, it's like them in Super Robot Wars.
And not even G Generation themselves, which is pretty fucked.
They might have him in one of the games. I just haven't
my
played
thing
any
is, if
crossover.
it's in an older game, then fuck your older game. It's just been in Crossrays.
Well, Crossrays is them
Let's
leading
talk
up
about, like,
into, you
obscure
know,
bullshit, then how about
Yeah.
putting that in there? You guys are so hard on about that. Fuck.
don't worry. They'll probably have the next
Crossrays
G
sucks,
Gen game will probably be a
like, just
crossover.
forget it.
Yeah. But nah, I feel you. But anyway, tangent-y-ish stuff over, right? I was doing it too. I'm gonna stick to my guns. Raid Methus. I don't know, we just had transformable. I'll put a vote in for the Palace Athena as well. We just got Sarah's suit. We need to have Rakoa's homewrecker suit show up.
Homewrecker. Yeah.
Oh
That's
yes.
And
just have the feud continue on the battlefield.
I honestly
Just
everything is
funny
Char's fault.
cover.
I'm sorry.
It is.
everything's Quattro's fault.
Quattro's fault.
Or
I,
Quattro.
Quadriplegic,
Quattro's a fucking monster.
am not
Jesus
Char
Christ.
Aznavour. So, I'd love to be compared to such a wonderful, beautiful man.
Man, have you ever thought it was weird that Quattro Bagina looks just like Char Aznavour when he takes his sunglasses off?
Yeah, right.
It's fucking
Striking
crazy.
resemblance.
Yeah,
How
it must be.
strange.
They must be like related somehow. But nah, like yeah, Palestinian would be a very hot take. And I mean, at this point, I'll just say like, you know, Zeta Mobile Suit number 37 will probably be the next general, which you know is like every one of them. I'd like to see a support next week though. Especially if it's like the Palestinian next week could be so awesome, like giant hitbox, squishy support. The thing has a shield though.
See, every
doesn't
time you
the
bring that
Palestinian
up,
have shield
it's
missiles?
just you licking your lips in raid. Like that's all I hear.
Yeah, I'm definitely licking my chops over here. Like, damn, that's a sexy looking thing to up my stats.
Oh, what a fine coat of yellow you put on that profile picture. Let's go.
That's funny. Um.
How about you, Gustav? I can't remember if you said any which ones.
I mean, I agree with a lot of those picks. At this point, it just feels like they're throwing shit at the dartboard and hoping that they have a model that's ready for it.
Pretty much.
Oh, General Hazel.
Yeah,
There we go.
just get it out of the way. Just let it happen at this point.
I don't even know if I don't even know if some of the Hazel suits would be like unfit for the game at this point. You know, like if we're talking about pushed fucking generals. Like, does the Hazel or even the Hazel custom bring anything that the Mark II doesn't already do? Like, I don't even fucking know, man.
I mean, we could say the same thing about all these other quote unquote like fair general suits we've been getting. If they're going to continue with the trend, then we might as well do it. I still think it would probably be at a lower cost on average compared to all those, but still. If anything, we need to start widening that gap anyway. Give people something else to do at other costs so they don't have to be pissed off about like 600 or like 550 plus. You know, so as much as I dong on the Bolin Oak for being put so low, it's like at least he has something at 450 to do now.
I thought it was a 500, 550 suit. Am I wrong?
Yeah, Bolin Oak starts at 450.
Oh crap!
Is it craziness? I sometimes think it was higher than that.
Yeah, I was thinking 500, 550 too.
Yeah, that was a head scratcher for me. Like, why is this here? What am I gonna do with this? So I was hoping I was gonna get the level 2 At least that would be a more common rank or rating to actually get into, especially for rated matches.
Chat telling me it's 500, 550. Hold on a second.
Is it? Hold on.
Yeah, I got the website.
It says on the JP Wiki as well.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'd love to play the Bull and Oak at 450. Like, oh, let's go!
Gosh,
I don't have to live in Mark II territory. Like, fuck yeah! I actually think the Bull and Oak would be pretty sick. If it was based like 50 points down, like that'd be nasty. Hello, Mud Rock.
Yeah, maybe
It's
not.
like, oh, look at this transforming tank.
Oh no!
Look at this little support scooting around.
I don't know. I would definitely deja vu that thing to death.
I'd light up that tank of missiles and proceed to freaking carve it like a turkey. It would be
bring
great.
It on. Let's go. Now that one I will 1v1. Let's go.
Deja vu. All right, we'll do it to current cost. I'll pay them a level 1.
Okay, I'll do the.
Is the hilt offer in 500 yet?
Yeah, I got the 500 hilt offer. Let's go. I'm in there.
Oh, okay, there we go. Big Zam.
Oh god. I mean, if anything, for the simulator, right? You already had it in versus. Just fucking put it in this game. Give us something else to swing at the likes of.
They could give it beam resistance too, or beam die field. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Something new to hack away at before you just pick at its giant legs.
No, they can even release the what did Slagger have? Was it the core fighter?
Yeah.
Okay, release the core fighter.
The core booster or whatever the hell.
Yeah, core booster, whatever. Core fighter, core booster. I mean, in that case, they just put the G-Bull in the game. That'd be interesting. That'd be a funny tank to
oh my gosh.
Play against.
But real quick, on a random side note, too, the quick throwaway thing, I guess, before we do some shout-outs, but the ranked, or sorry, not ranked, but the rankings for the PvE stuff, looks like they're cycling that out and changing the stuff, the conditions that you got to meet for it. So this time it's like 250 for survival and 300 for fighting the Psycho Gundam. So
does that rotate?
So lower, I think.
So they're
interesting.
So yeah, each week they're gonna change what you can queue. So the ranking will end, and then you have to queue in the next like whatever suit. So interestingly enough, right now the Efreet DS is the best Psycho Gundam killer at 300. Solo anyway. As a team, 3 Cold District types are still pretty much up there. Looks like the Shin Matsunaga Zaku was doing well too. In a combination of pretty much Cold Districts and a mass production gun cannon, I think. And then the survival for 250, I think the Goof was a big deal, looks like. And the Zaku 2 FS. So, and then I think in the 3-man group, I think also throw essentially those 2 plus like a Cold Districts. I think is what it was. So, kind of interesting, but yeah. But any extra thoughts on that, or do you guys want to go ahead and hop into some shout-outs?
Let's wrap it up.
Okie dokie.
Gustav, you want to start?
All right, Gustav _13 XIII on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Twitch. We are continuing our secondary game of Disgaea along with our GBO2 dailies, so keep an eye out for that. And that's about all that's going on for now.
All right, and I am GamingEmblem. We play video games and sometimes not video games on the internet. at twitch.tv /GamingEmblem. Currently still playing Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation 2. We're also dipping into robot waifu sim Fantasy Star Online 2. That is out for the Western release. The fun part is fighting against the Windows Store. But yeah, internet, games, fun. Wow, Gaming Emblem.
I'm gonna ask you after this what you were fighting against in the Windows Store. But
I'll just talk about it in general. Like honestly, I couldn't tell you. I just reinstalled the game a billion times until it worked.
Oh yeah, no, I've had that. But anyway, everybody's links and stuff will be down in the description below. But I'm EG Magnum, stream on Twitch, got a Discord, YouTube, Twitter, stuff like that. Gonna be doing some Phantasy Star Online 2 as well. More GBO2, of course. Maybe MSGO here and there. I might slow down on the MSGO. I was playing it just to try to roll for that full armor new Gundam. And he got a rental version of it. RIP. So might not play that as much, but it was definitely grinding for that. Let's see. Final Fantasy 14 is going to be running up here, so that'll probably be on a bit of hiatus. And going to be doing. I might try Tarkov since that started. I think that actually reset today. So I might try Tarkov within the next week or two. Just play it for a day or something. Final Fantasy 7 speedrun sometime to be determined. What else?
X. I'm jamming. X. Where's my?
Too many games.
Press X to doubt, chat.
Oof. Let's see what else. Path of Exile. And yeah, Gundam campaign. We're gonna be doing session 0 to do characters and stuff, so it might be 30 minutes or so. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but that's gonna be Wednesday, at 6 p.m. So we'll go ahead.
Like next Wednesday?
Yeah, this coming Wednesday. It will be session 0 to figure
I don't
out
think
characters.
enough people say anything to confirm.
I know that's kind of the right now that's scheduled. So session 0 can be what? Yeah. We're playing it by ear.
Okay.
So we might have session 0.
I'm glad
2.
I heard this. I didn't. I wouldn't have been there. Like, oh, what are you doing? Session 0. Like, wait, what?
Organization. What's that?
Yeah. Session 0 2.0 might have to be a thing too. So, but we're pretty much ready. So within the next 2 to 3 weeks should be the start of that. But it's going to be Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be fun. So it's pretty much in a Robotech rule set, but it's going to be adapting Gundam and stuff to it. So we're adapting that to Gundam, whatever. Anyway, and then yeah, I think that's about it. Lots of games. It's a good problem to have. So anyway, but if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Leave us a comment down below of what you'd like to hear us talk about in the future. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Later.